Hello everyone, welcome along to your live watch-along. That's right, it's time for Morecambe v Newport. I'm not going to lie, I didn't think that I was going to start the stream that way. It's scrolling down anyway. How are we all doing? It is time, as I said, for the final game of the league season. And look, if I'm being quite frankly honest with you, we started the season off with a brilliant game between Watford and Middlesbrough. That was the way that we started off. It only seems fitting to end the season in style with the final EFL playoff game. I hope you're all good, hope you're all well. This should be a belter. We've said it all week long. We've had all over the weekend many brilliant playoff games. We started off with the game between, I nearly forgot for a second, Brentford, of course. Brentford and Swansea. Very good match that was. Then, of course, we had yesterday, which I think was the best one of the weekend so far. Absolute cracker of a match. With Blackpool, of course, winning the League One playoff final. It now means we've got the final game of the season. Morecambe against Newport. The most interesting of all three of them, I think, because these are two teams that arguably could have not easily been here. I think Morecambe, for a large part of the season, were expected to actually go down and get relegated. As for Newport County, well, brilliant side. We've seen them in the playoffs before, but I really do think that Newport have got a very good opportunity of going up today. But my name is Josh. For anybody that is new to the channel, welcome along to the stream. I want to say a big thank you to everybody yesterday, of course, for joining us for the League One playoff match, which was an absolutely incredible watch-along. So many of you guys and girls turned up to the stream. So really, once again, a massive thank you, because there's about 150 of you in here yesterday, which actually made that, I think, the most watched watch-along football-wise that we've had of the entire year. So crazy to think you've all turned up for the League One playoffs. Who'd have thought that would have been the most popular football game in the season? But it was. And hopefully it should be another firecracker today. I really do think we've got a very good game on our hands. And of course, we'll go through the two teams in just a moment's time. But I want to say a quick hello to all of you guys in the stream. And first of all, Tubbs is in the building. I saw he was here nice and early. Thank you very much, Tubbs. How are you doing? Hope you're all good today. He's put, let's go, my Filipino brethren. How are we? Hope you're all good as always, Tubbs. Chris is in the building. How are you doing, Chris? Hope you're good, mate. He's put, come on, Newport. Us Carlisle fans don't like Morecambe fans. And he's also put his prediction in today. Morecambe 1, Newport 2. I just think Newport have the experience of the playoff final, missing out a couple of years ago versus Tranmere, which I have very vivid flashbacks of that. We'll take the pain out of them on Morecambe today. And then Kyle's in the building as well. How you doing, Kyle? Hope you're good as always, mate. I'm just going to slightly move the camera up very slightly, just because. There we go. It's a little bit further down. Hopefully you're all good as always, Kyle. And I'm not going to lie. I am going to say today, I am backing Newport. I am not going to be biased. I don't want to come out as biased. Obviously, I think what I've got to say is for the two teams, Morecambe, as I said, at the beginning of the season, we're expected to be fighting for survival. So the fact that they're even here today, fighting in the playoffs, one game away from League One football, has to, give so much credit to the team, to the players, to Derek Adams, who I think is an incredibly good manager and should arguably be in the high divisions of football than down in League Two. And if he does get Morecambe up there to League One, then an absolute credit to him because he's done such a good job. But you've also got to give credit to Michael Flynn in Newport as well. I think Michael Flynn, the work that he's done at Newport over the last few years, transitioning him from a mid-table League Two club to contenders pretty much for the last few seasons for the playoffs and for promotion. You really do have to give credit to both teams for how they've progressed. And I think it's very similar to the story we had yesterday with Blackpool and Lincoln City, two teams that have had their fair share of ups and downs. And now today we've got the opportunity for one of these teams to have a major positive up and get themselves promoted. Morecambe, let's go through the teams, of course. I think that's the most important thing before we do kick off in a few moments' time. Morecambe today, it's actually a 4-2-3-1 for Morecambe in today's team. I really do think it's an interesting lineup, very transitional team. Kyle Lafferan is in goal. You've got the back four of Liam Gibson, Nathaniel Knight-Percival, who's been a very recognisable player for Morecambe this season. He's alongside Samuel Lavelle, and Ryan Cooney is in the right back position. Now, the two holding midfielders, you've got Jan Songo and Tumani Diaragaraga, two very good players this season, really good as the holding DMs. Carlos Mendes Gomez is on the left-hand side. Liam McAlin is on the right with Aaron Wildig as the attacking midfielder. He's in behind Cole Stockton, who this season is the joint top scorer with Carlos Mendes Gomez with 15 goals. They've got a whole range of other players on the bench as well, Morecambe. Now, I'm not a great deal, no great deal with League Two football, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure that's Ben Pringle on the bench, isn't it? Former Rotherham man. If it is, then that is absolutely incredible, and hopefully we'll see him come on at some point. Then, here's the Newport lineup. Of course, Newport this season been incredible in the league. 3-5-2 today. They made one change from their incredible semi-final fixture. One of the best, I think, playoff fixtures we've ever had in the EFL before. Tom King, he's in goal. Back free of Mickey Dimitriou, who was actually here for the previous playoff final a few years ago for Newport against Tranmere. Scott Bennett and Liam Shepherd are the other two players in the centre-back positions today. Left mid is Ryan Haynes. Right mid is Aaron Lewis with the midfield three. Matty Dolan, of course, got an absolute screamer in the first leg of the EFL playoff semi-final. Josh Sheehan, alongside the only change in the team, Joss Labadie, comes into the side today. He, of course, has had an incredible career with Newport County. Patrick Amond, incredible player again. He's been a real key star in the Newport team for years now. He is alongside Lewis Collins. And then on the bench, there is one certain player. Well, I'm saying actually one certain player. There's quite a few players on there. Joe Ledley, of course, former Palace man. Going to be interested to see if he comes on at some point. Nicky Maynard, who scored the winning goal in the playoff semi-final fixture against Forest Green a few days ago. But then the one man I think everybody wants to see come on, if you don't know, Kevin Ellison, the 42-year-old, is on the bench today. If you didn't watch the playoff semi-final, he also scored a screamer in the second leg of the playoff final to help Newport's dreams of the playoff finals to become reality. But most importantly, if you don't know, there is a lot of history between Kevin Ellison and Newport. And specifically as well, I believe, a lot of history with him and Derek Adams. It's going to be interesting to see how this game goes down. I think there's a lot of people which want him to come on, maybe score a winning goal, take Newport up. But I just think the whole rivalry and the situation between the two the player and the manager and the former clubs themselves makes for an interesting game as we have kicked off. We are underway with the final match of the league season. We started off on the Sports Corner right at the beginning of the season with that game between Watford and Middlesbrough in the Championship. That was the first game we covered of the year. But we're now down to the last game of the season. It's Morecambe against Newport. Do put your score predictions in the chat. And once again, we are under some lovely weather in the UK. Fantastic weather in Wembley. It has been a brilliant weekend, hasn't it, of weather. Especially if you live in the UK, a heat wave that we've had. Which means I think in Wembley, again, it is around about 24, 25 degrees. So it's not just a heated affair on the pitch. It's quite warm across the whole of England and specifically at Wembley. And I'm hoping we should be in for quite a heated affair as we're already going to get the first free kick about 40 yards out. And one man who I think is going to be very key today for Morecambe, Carlos Mendes Gomez. We know him, of course, for previous experience actually playing in Spain, being a brilliant player. And I think he also got the Player of the Year award for Morecambe. So he's going to be a very, very dangerous player to watch. But free kick's been taken short. Mendes Gomez takes the shot on. And, well, I thought for a second we were maybe just going to have a little opportunity for a nice early goal in this playoff fixture like we did yesterday. But Carlos Mendes Gomez is a good free kick, taken very quickly into the path of the Spaniard. But the pass in the end, the actual shot itself, not the pass, is just a little bit weak and finds itself going away from goal and out of play for a goal kick. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, seeing from your guys' predictions in the chat, Tubbs has gone 3-1 to Newport. Benaldo's going 3-1 to Morecambe. Of course, Chris earlier saying 2-1 to Newport. I'm going to go 3-2 to Newport County. This game will go to extra time and Newport will win it in the dying embers. Exactly what happened to them a few years ago when they played Tranmere. Of course, went to extra time in their game a few years ago against Tranmere. And then conceded, I think it was in the very last minute of the game. They'll just be hoping to make sure that doesn't happen today. But these two teams, funnily enough, the two teams at the top end of the table, the two teams highest up in the playoff rankings, of course, Morecambe in fourth place in the league, Newport in fifth place. So it really is a case of these two teams being quite close in the EFL table anyway this season. And when you actually look at the table overall from how these two teams were in the actual league campaign, both quite high scorers in the league. When you actually look at Morecambe, they scored 69 goals this season, which was more than the league leaders Cheltenham. As well as Newport County, they scored 57. this season, which was around about the same amount of goals as what Bolton scored. So you can see that they've both got very high, prolific scoring. As for in terms of the goals that they conceded, Morecambe this season conceded 58, which was actually the highest of any teams in the top 10. The only team that was reasonably close to them were Forest Green and Carlisle, which both conceded 51 goals. As for Newport County, they conceded 42 goals this season. That is the second best defensive record in the league, but there might be a chance here for Stockton to come towards the goal, and it's good defending in the end by Tom King, who has to scurry out of his goal and eventually clear the ball away for a goal, for a throw-in. And a little bit of nerves there for a second. It was a very good ball towards Stockton. And it just, I think the ball just goes away from the goal very slightly. Goes to the right-hand side, at the outside of the box. And Tom King is just able to get out in the end and make a fairly comfortable save and eventually clear the ball away. But Chris saying in the chat, just with his bold, high-scoring predictions. I want it to have goals today. I think you always want with a playoff final. Plenty of goals. Plenty of opportunities, heated moments, maybe a few yellow cards and red cards and things like that. But I do think that this game has got potential today. He's got lots of opportunities, no doubt. And what I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I do personally think that when you look at all of the playoff matches over the weekend, I do think the Championship one, a lot of people were expecting Brentford to go on and win it, which they did in quite comfortable fashion. I just think that this one is the one which is the most open and has got the most chances to have opportunities where both teams can actually go out there and maybe win the game. Tenzin in the stream says, show your real game video. I can't, unfortunately, Tenzin, which is why it says in the title that it's a watch-along. If you do want to watch it, it is on Sky Sports in the UK. If not, if it's abroad, then I do recommend checking out Footy Bite, because that might help you. But here comes Carlos Mendes-Gomez. Getting to the edge of the box, going to play the ball into Songo, who's just going to play the ball back into the Morecambe defence. And they're just going to patiently build up here in the first 5 minutes of the match. Because what you don't want to do, which we saw in both games, is concede early. It was a moment yesterday where Blackpool just switched off for a slight second, and then we had that goal in the 50th second, which was an own goal in the end by Taunton. But what I think both teams will do here is that first 10 or 15 minutes, they'll stay fairly preserved, fairly calm, although there might be a chance here for Collins to come forward. Good defending by Lavelle, and I think it's going to be a corner for Newport County, I believe. We'll have to see in a second, but good running from Lavelle there, does really, really well to get himself into the right position and make sure that Collins isn't able to get ahead of him. But going to be a corner here, and maybe an opportunity for Newport to get themselves into the lead in the first few seconds, well, minutes rather than seconds of this match. As Russ is in the building now, doing Russ, you're good as always, my friend. Welcome along to the stream. So the ball actually didn't go out of play for a corner. It went out for a long throw, in which we know Newport have got very good long throwing takers. And it could be a little opportunity here, maybe, for Newport to get themselves into the lead. I'm just going to very quickly turn my headset down because it's very loud in my ears. But Sean Evans saying, how's this for multitasking? Watching cricket on the laptop, football on the TV, and yourself on the phone. That is multitasking of the highest orders. The long throwing is taken. Comes towards the path of Mickey Dimitriou, but Lefferan in the goal for Morecambe is able to rise highest and make sure that the ball doesn't land at the head of Mickey Dimitriou, who has been here before. He's one of the very few players in this Newport side of the previous playoff final. Very different Newport team. A lot of signings over the last few years. And honestly, fair play to them, because I think there was a question asked before this game had started to Michael Flynn, and they basically asked him how was he going to react with his team to trying to go on and getting the win, rather than having in the back of their minds the previous playoff final defeat. And of course he said, Michael Flynn, in that press conference before, that this is a new team full of new players, new ideas, new mindsets. He doesn't have to go out there and remind them of what they've got to do, because they will go out there and they'll give it their all on the most important day for Newport in a long time. And, you know, credit to him. And credit to Morecambe as well, because to get Derek Adams in charge has done them wonders. And it proves that when managers of big notoriety come down to the lower divisions and help sides out, it can work. And Derek Adams, of course, we've seen him before at Plymouth Argyle. Did a brilliant, brilliant job with Plymouth Argyle. Came to Morecambe And he's doing a fantastic, fantastic job there. And if they do go up Morecambe, I wonder whether or not Derek Adams will stay. I think he would. But there would be other clubs probably wanting him. And I can't blame him because he's a brilliant manager. But there's a chance here for Morecambe to come forward. Ball played towards Stockton. Eventually cleared away by Mickey Dimitri, who's done very well there in the end. And Newport will try and hit on the break. Ball's been given away. Here's Jan Songo, who's eventually fouled. And referee, he's going to give a free kick here. In a very good position to whip this into the box. And Songo's asking for a nice early card in this game. But the referee, he's not going to give a card in the end. And it will just be a free kick. 8 minutes into this game. As Russ says he's doing good. Thanks. Glad to hear, Russ. You came out doing fantastic. Very nice weather. And hopefully a very good game as well. As this will be my last watch-along on the channel until the Euros. So I get a nice little, just about 2-week break. So I'm not complaining whatsoever. Free kick, though, here for Morecambe. And a potential chance for an early goal in this game. Can they get something from it, though? Knight Percival is one of the players in the box that the ball will be guided towards. Ball's lofted in. Comes towards the path of McAlinden. But it doesn't get to him in the end. And Tom King's able to comfortably have the ball into his hands. And there's no worries for this Newport side in the first 10 minutes. Both teams doing exactly what I think other teams didn't in the playoff final over the last few days. And that is just keep themselves calm, relaxed. And have a nice steady pace to this game. It's not a rapid start. But a very even affair. Where both teams have had one or two little chances. And fair play to them. As looking at how you guys are in the chat. Welcome along to everyone in the building. Good to see Benny when he's in the building. He says, come on Newport, do it for Wales. I'm not going to lie, I am backing Newport today. I'm not going to lie. But I will give credit to Morecambe throughout. Because I think they're a brilliant, brilliant team this season. Peter Nunn in the building. How you doing, Peter? Hope you're good, mate. Says fancy Newport for a cheeky 1-0. We'll have to see whether or not that happens. Tubbs saying Derek Adams to Arsenal would be a huge improvement. Probably would be, to be fair. You're not wrong. And then Liam Cooney's in the building. How you doing, Liam? Hope you're good, mate. He says, shout out to my cousin, Ryan Cooney. Come on, the Shrimps. Hopefully, we'll see whether or not today that your cousin... Oh, bloody hell, he's on the pitch, isn't he, Ryan Cooney? Very best of luck to you, Liam Cooney. Hopefully your cousin maybe could go out there and get the winning goal in this game. But we'll have to see or not as Haynes comes forward. And just as we talk about him, Ryan Cooney, good bit of defending from your cousin, my friend. And hopefully... you should have a good game today. I'll tell you something, man. It's not often you're out there in a EFL Play-Off Final, is it? So the experience of Wembley must be incredible. Tubbs has asked, will the others be doing live streams until the Euros? I don't think there'll be much going on. I think we've got some A-League action with Rowan. He'll also be doing F1 as well, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on Sunday. But apart from that, I don't know or think, as there's a mistake and a really big opportunity, I think Morecambe are very lucky that Scott Bennett did not put the ball into the back of the net there. And it was the long throw-in. It comes towards Scott Bennett. Lefferen isn't able to rise highest. And I tell you what, Scott Bennett gets a punch in the face from the keeper. I think there'll be a few people maybe calling for that to be a penalty. But Scott Bennett is probably, one, very surprised he's not been given a penalty. And two, the ball's not in the back of the net. And the debate rages on, and Bobby Madley, the referee today, he shakes his head and disagrees and says that isn't a penalty. But Newport County there, very unlucky, to have not had a goal in the game and to be 1-0 up. And for me, that is probably a penalty. The goalkeeper clearly gets a punch on Scott Bennett. And I think 9 times out of 10, you know, if we had VAR, for example, today, we would have probably have seen that as a penalty. But Morecambe a little bit lucky there, I think, to not get themselves a penalty or be 1-0 down. And maybe that might give them the motivation now to try and push forward and get an early goal in this game. Because the danger signs are there with Newport. And the danger signs are there with Morecambe as well. But we just haven't seen a great deal from either team yet as they look to come forward. Here's Stockton on the ball on the left wing. Going to try and slowly build up here. Ball played towards Mendes Gomez, who is inside the box. He's shepherded very well by Shepherd. And it will be a throw-in for Morecambe. As Michael Brown's in the building. How do you, Michael Brown? Oh, you're good, my friend. He says, how do you think Rotherham will do in League One? Do you think it'll be a quick return to the Championship like Hull City? No, I don't think it will be. I think next season the aim for us is to probably get the playoffs. I was saying about it yesterday. The fact that there are a lot of teams down there in League One next season. Wednesday will expect to go up. Sunderland will expect to go up. I think Wigan will spend a lot of money next season and they'll try to push up the divisions. I think Ipswich have got to turn up form soon. Charlton, Lincoln, let's not forget, they're going to try and see if they can push up next season. Oxford, I really do think next season in League One, we've got a very, very good league. Wycombe as well, I haven't even talked about Wycombe. I think it's going to be probably the strongest League One's ever been in terms of teams down there. So I'm not looking forward to it. So I don't think we'll bounce back up. I think the aim for us should probably just get playoffs. But going to be a free kick here for Morecambe. Ball's lofted into the box. Comes towards Songo. It's cleared away in the end by Josh Labadie. And it'll come back again here for Gibson, who tries to lead Morecambe on the attack again. Ball's lofted long. It comes towards Songo, who gets his head onto it. Eventually comes back out to Liam Gibson. And maybe an opportunity now for McAlinden to take on the Newport defence. Lobs the ball into the box. Good header by Stockton. Calls for a handball. Mendes Gomez has got it. It's still in the box. And eventually the Spaniards cross. Doesn't find any of the 7 or 8 Morecambe players in the box. And now Newport County will try and counter. Ball lofted long. And in the end, there's a slight touch from Cooney, who didn't really have the ball under control, but it's a good touch in the end because I think it was Patrick Amond who was up there. And had he have not got the touch, Cooney, I really do think maybe there was a chance for Newport. Gets it out of play, and in the end, it comes out for a corner for Newport. He says, also Josh, in Irish, Kyle was saying, was screaming when you pronounce Patrick. Patrick. No, it's Padraig, isn't it? Or Podrick. Podrick, is it Podrick Amond? Podrick Amond? Podrick, however you pronounce it. I'll just keep saying Padraig to annoy you. No, Podrick Amond, if that's correct. But Newport corner here. Taken short. Tries to come towards the path of Mickey Dimitriou. He goes down in the box. There's calls for a handball, but now a counter-attack here for Morecambe. It's a 3-on-3. Here's Mendes Gomez on the left wing. Plays it into the middle. McAlinden takes the touch, but it's a little bit too heavy. And it's cleared away by Matty Dolan, who's playing as a centre-back today. And I'll tell you something. This is really end-to-end. A very good start to this game, 16 minutes in. Very, very end-to-end. Both teams having their fair share of chances. And a very good start to this match. And you can see on the breakaway, Carlos Mendes on the left wing, he plays the ball to McAlinden. And it's just that touch that he makes that puts him off. And it's easily cleared away by the Newport back line. Who, I've got to say, as much as I've been saying Newport have had the chances, we've seen now over the last few minutes, Morecambe have had their fair share of opportunities as well. Very, very open game. And should allow for plenty more opportunities before the end of the first half, that's for sure. I don't think, and I hope, that this game will be 0-0 at half-time. I think both teams, as I said, have had their fair share of opportunities. And that's what we wanted. I think we had 2 playoff games, yesterday and the day before, where one team largely dominated. I think the Brentford game was large domination for the whole match against Swansea. I've got to give credit. I think Lincoln yesterday didn't really have many chances in the match, but they had more opportunities than Swansea and really tried the hardest to get something in this game. But for me, I think so far this has had a very good even start to the game. But we'll have to see as the game continues on. Horrible first touch, Tubbs said, which I do agree with you. It was a very horrible first touch. As Newport are flagged for offside. Amond, the player offside. As we're just having a look at the original first penalty claim in this 12th minute. The opportunity where Scott Bennett got onto the ball. And I really do think That's a penalty for me. It's a clear penalty. Misses the ball, Leverant. Punches Bennett in the head. And for me, I really do think had VAR been in play for a game like this, then that would have probably been flagged up as a penalty. And I think it is one of those chances where maybe Leverant in the back of his head is breathing a sigh of relief that nothing did come up in the end. But Bobby Madley in charge today. One of the only referees I do actually know and can say that who he's and who he is. But Bobby Madley in charge. And we'll have to see whether or not he makes a few interesting decisions or not. He's had a fair share of eventful games where he's refereed in the past. Of course, I think for me, one of those moments in this game where he should have given a penalty and he didn't. But I guess we can't sit here for the next hour and complain about one decision, as there's a chance here for Diagoraga to push Morecambe forward. Here's Mendes Gomez, who tries to flick a ball to Cole Stockton, and in the end, the pass is just a little bit too heavy, and Stockton just doesn't get the ball in the end. And Cole Stockton there had a very lively start, been moving around the pitch, not really had an opportunity on goal yet. I just don't think, very similar to what we saw with Jerry Yates yesterday, could be a key player in the hold-up, and allowing the likes of Carlos Mendes Gomez and McAlinden to push forward and move into the inside forward positions, which is, I think, what we've seen quite often here. Mendes Gomez moving around the pitch a hell of a lot in this game, not sticking to that right wing position, and I think he's had a large spell of possession on the ball. As Kaz says, no worry, Josh, don't mean to disrespect. Definitely no disrespect at all. When it comes to Irish names and stuff, you're the man to talk to, Kyle. You know it better than us, of course, with being Irish. At least he said his English version of his name. Too many times I've seen non-Irish people fuck up his pronunciation of the Irish names. Podrig Amond. I think that's how you pronounce it. Podrig. I'm going to pronounce it Podrig from now. I like that. I think it sounds better. Whether that's how he'd like his name pronunciation to be, maybe he'd like it as Podrig. But I'm going Podrig. Podrig Amond. Sounds so much better. As we're just seeing the Morecambe fans today. Very warm day in Wembley. Most of them have got the shirts off, as you would expect. Very, very lucky to be there in the warm summer weather that we've had over the weekend. And I think any fans who've been there this weekend have had lovely weather. Ball coming to the edge of the box. Shot taken on in the end. And the shot was blocked, I think, by Josh Labadie, sorry. And Josh Labadie flagged offside. And it was Mickey Dimitrou who took the original throw-in, took it out to the edge of the box, eventually taken on by Bennett, and then it does touch Josh Labadie, and is given as offside. And he tries to get his flick up to make sure he doesn't touch the ball, but eventually he does, and then it is flagged as offside in the end. And very unfortunate there for Newport. And when we actually look at the stats of the game, the first 20 minutes of the game has passed so far. We haven't had a shot on target yet. We've had 3 shots for Morecambe, 1 shot for Newport County. Newport County with 51% possession in the game. Morecambe with 49% possession. I do think both teams have played very well. Really, really well. We haven't had that first big shot in the game. But I do think both teams will be very happy with how they've started. As Liam Cooney says, typical Shrimp fans, gotta love it. I think, to be honest, if I was there, if my club was there today, I think the shirt would be off because of the weather. Very, very warm day today. As Cole Stockton on the wing here. Ball lobbed into the box, and it was a very good run forward from Aaron Wildig, who tried to get and ghosted into the near post on the left-hand side, and it was a really good ball from Cole Stockton. And I think had it have been a role reversal, and Aaron Wildig being in that position, and Cole Stockton being at the near post, I think we could have had an opportunity, just maybe there, for the ball to be in the back of the net, but a good opportunity for Morecambe. And yet again, I think Newport County have been let off the hook slightly. As Pat Mulhall says, no matter what the pronunciation is or nationality, Amond is due one. Did he score in the playoff final a few years ago? Because I remember basically the last time that they played in the final Newport, I was watching the game. I got a fan that I worked with at work called Glyn, massive Newport County fan. I'd actually assume he'd probably be there today to watch the game if he could. But of course, I remember being with him watching the game, and seeing the goal go in at the very end of the match to lose the game. I haven't ever had that experience. I'm quite lucky as a Rotherham fan. Usually when we go to the playoffs, we do quite all right. But I could not feel the pain more than having a last-minute goal to win the playoffs. As there's a chance here for Josh Labadie. Ball comes to the edge of the box. It comes to Josh Sheehan, who takes on an effort similar to the range of the 2 Blackpool goals we saw yesterday from Kenny Dougal. And in the end, it comes comfortably into the hands of Kyle Lefferen. And it's a P-roller shot. Lots of players in the way of Lefferen, but it's a very comfortable save in the end. And another effort, and this time, the first effort taken on target in the match. And so far, so good in this game. As Peter Thompson's in the building. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're good as always, friend. He's put one last £1,000 on Newport. Get my money back from the Lincoln game. PS afternoon all. How are we doing, Peter Thompson? Hope you're all good, mate. I've got one bet on today. I don't think it's going to come in. It was a bit of a wild punt. I had a £5 free bet on Sky Bet. It was both teams to score. 20 booking points for each side. And 2 corners for both teams in each half. We've had no corners for Morecambe. I think we've had 1 for Newport. No yellow cards and no goals. So I think unless something changes dramatically in the next 20 minutes, I don't think we're going to have any goals in the game. As we are just going to have a drinks break here. Of course, the weather is quite warm today. Apparently, they've just said it's 26 degrees. So it's the warmest it's been all weekend at Wembley. Very, very jealous of all the fans there. So there is going to be a quick drinks break here. And a chance for both teams to just replenish themselves. And have a little bit of a team talk, I guess you could say. As I'm just seeing Derek Adams on the touchline. Wearing a jumper today. Don't know why. I mean, of course, I know you've got to come with a nice attire and everything, but I don't think today at Wembley's the day to be sat and stood wearing a jumper, in my opinion. I think if I was a manager today, I probably would come... Well, I'm not going to lie. If I was a manager, I'd probably come in the suit, so it'd be even worse. But I think you probably want to go for the Julian Nagelsmann look. Get the trainers out, get the short-sleeve shirt on, get in some nice comfy attire for today. But he's coming the jumper. I think Michael Flynn coming in the training gear. But to be fair, wear what you want, isn't it? It doesn't really matter what you wear. As just joining us in the chat, Kurt, how are we doing, mate? Oh, you're good as always, Kurt. He's put, hello, bro. How are we doing? I'm doing very good indeed. Hope you're good as always, Kurt. What time is it in Australia, mate? It must be quite late. I'm guessing it'll be about 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. But while we have that quick drinks break, just give me an opportunity very quickly to tell you, if you are new to the stream as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel if you are new. We don't just cover the playoff finals, we cover a whole host of different leagues across European football. And of course, we are now at the end of the season, which means we've got a whole host of international content to come up. Of course, we've got the Newport game up against Newport now. Morecambe up against Newport right now. Game just about to commence in a second. We've got the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That is on the 6th of June from 10 to 1. You can join Rowan for that. To keep you up to date with all of the F1 content. And then the Euros start. I'll be back from the 11th of July. Turkey versus Italy is the first game of the Euros. That's going to be on the 11th of July at 5 to 8. Wales-Switzerland is the second game, which we'll be covering. That's from 5 to 2 on the 12th of July. And then what a cracker. We've got England up against Croatia. I'm going to be covering that one from Group D. That's on the 13th of June at 5 to 2. There will be a host of other Euro watch-alongs in between. Probably going to be trying covering 1 or 2 games a day minimum. So do recommend staying on the channel and joining us for the Euros, because it's going to be an absolute barnstormer. As we've now got back underway with the action after the drinks break. Gives me a chance for a drinks break as well. Do tell me what time it is where you are in the world. Riven in the building. How you doing? Hope you're good, mate. Says it's 10:30 in Hong Kong right now. Thank you very much for joining us. Getting late there at night, but I do appreciate you joining us at the late time in Hong Kong. I think it's always interesting to see where all you guys have come from. A whole host of different nations. It's incredible, isn't it? But fair play to you. At 10:30, up to watch Morecambe Newport. The dedication is unreal. As there's going to be a goal kick taken by Lefferen. It's hoof long. Eventually finds itself very well into the path of Lavelle. Pushes forward, plays the ball into Liam Gibson, who's going to play it back into the path of Diego Raga. I really do think the two holding DMs that Morecambe have got today are going to be very key to this game. Technically playing a 4-2-3-1 with Diagoraga and Songo as the two holding midfielders. And I would have to say, both teams very organised, very structured so far in this match. No player really breaking the position apart from Carlos Mendes-Gomez as there's a ball lofted into the box. Comes towards Cole Stockton. Tom King didn't get the touch on the ball. And very similar to the chance that we had earlier, he did actually get a touch, Tom King. And it will go out of play for a corner. And Cole Stockton being very dangerous so far. In between the lines, makes a very good run into the box. And very similar to the chance we had with Scott Bennett earlier. Just gets the goalkeeper off guard slightly. And had he have just got a slight touch, maybe there would have been a little opportunity for him. But going to be a corner here. And maybe a chance for Morecambe. We will have to see whether or not Morecambe can make the most of it. As the ball is taken short by Wildig. Then plays it into the box. But there's very, very good defending there. Really good work from, I think it was Liam Shepherd. No, sorry, it was Haynes who got the actual deflection on the ball. And, well, the corner's wasted. Massive waste. As Kurt says, it's 12:29 AM in the morning there. The dedication. Thank you so much, Kurt. You're an absolute legend. And then Peter Thompson says, glad to be here after the last game. And we'll be here for all of the Euros. You love to see it. So when Wales win and England lose, I will be here to say unlucky lads and lasses. Well, I tell you, we're going to try, as I said, and cover as many games as we can. Even like Austria, North Macedonia, we want to cover them because, to be honest, when it comes to the smaller teams, we love watching the smaller teams. And we've kind of got a little affiliation with North Macedonia because I've got a real massive loving for Goran Pandev, the North Macedonia striker. So a lot of the smaller games we are going to cover. So if you do want to join us for it, then we probably won't be doing as much commentary work, but we will just be watching it, having a good time, a few drinks, talking to you guys on stream, and hopefully we can have a cracking Euros. A much different one to the last one that we had. Because I remember the last time the Euros was on, I would have been doing my exams at school. Crazy, isn't it? 8 years ago, the last... 7 years ago, sorry, the last Euros. Shows how time flies. Shows how time flies. As we go into the final 15 minutes of the first half of action. Morecambe 0, Newport 0. It's been a very entertaining game so far. Very end-to-end. Haven't had any goals in it yet, though, but there's been a few glimmers of opportunities for both sides. Cole Stockton probably having one of the better opportunities for Morecambe. And Scott Bennett with the best chance for Newport. Chance here, though, for Amond, who takes on the shot. Think there was a slight deflection on the goal. And Podrick Amond gets himself a corner for Newport. And maybe an opportunity here for the likes of Podrick Amond and Lewis Collins to get their head on this ball and get themselves an opportunity on goal. We'll have to see. But Chris is putting in the chat, how come there is a North Macedonia but not a South Macedonia? You might as well call all of them Macedonia. Honestly, Chris, I've got no idea. I'll do the research. I'll find out for you. But going to be a corner here for Newport. And the players are queuing up. Ball lofted into the box. Comes towards the near post. Headed away. Out of the edge of the box. Taken on. And, well, in the end, the shot is a little bit away from goal. And the chance there for Newport goes, well, nowhere near the goal, to be honest with you. But familiar name on the bench today for Morecambe. And a certain Hendry on the bench. Stephen Hendry on the bench. And, of course, Lee Hendry is actually on commentary today for Sky, so his cousin's on there. And Carl said it was five years, sorry. I'm thinking of the World Cup, my bad. You're wrong, you're not wrong. Euro 2016. What was they doing in the 2016 World Cup? No, 2016 World Cup. I'm trying to think what I was doing in 2016. I would have been in college. I tell you, I've genuinely got no memory of the Euros in terms of what I was doing. I genuinely got no memory. The World Cup I remember the most because I remember watching, I think the World Cup in 2014, we had Uruguay in the group. And I just remember watching the game with Suarez where, of course, he scored, did the celebrations. I pretty much nearly cried because we were out of the tournament. But the Euros, I do remember, yes, the Euros was when I was doing my exams. So the Euros, I did some of my exams, I think, at that point, and I remember rushing back home to watch England against Wales, sat in this exact room watching Daniel Sturridge score the winning goal. So I do remember a little bit of it. But Rivin's asked how many Irish players on the Newport team today. It's a good question, actually. I would look. I think there's one or two of them, maybe more. Somebody who's a Newport fan will know a little bit more than I do. Arnav's in the building. How are you doing, Arnav? Welcome to the stream. Says, who's going to win tonight? Tough one. Really tough one. Free kick, though, for Newport here. Comes towards Josh Slabberty. Eventually bobbles away. And then eventually lands at the feet of Lewis Collins, who plays it into Lewis. Mickey Dimitriou, ball into the box. Comes towards Labadie. Bit of a tussle in the box. And in the end, Bobby Manley's given a free kick to Morecambe. And a few nerves there for the home side. Are eventually squabbled away. But I do think, in terms of what we've seen so far, Arnav, it's a very, very hard game to call. Really tough game to call. I think both teams have played as equally as good as each other. So I can't really tell who's going to win it. But I would say I think I'm kind of backing Newport a little bit because I've got a few Newport fans I know. But, I mean, to be honest, for me, either team that goes up, it is a brilliant success story. You know, Morecambe, as I said earlier, never expected to be here. They were expected to be at the bottom end of the table. And the fact that they're here today, 0-0, 35 minutes into the match, you know, about 60 minutes away from going into the League One. Fair play to him. As we've got a breaking play because the linesman, his flag has come off. And there's a little bit of banter there as the linesman could have a little bit of a laugh there. But there's also a minute's applause for one of the players for Morecambe, and Bulu, of course, who passed away last year, having an applause, a minute's applause, which is brilliant to see everybody participating in that. As Michael Brown has said in the chat, have you done any collaborations with other Rotherham United related podcasts? I'm not going to lie, no. More because, one, I've never been invited, which I wouldn't expect, to be fair, because I wouldn't really say on this channel we're specifically Rotherham United related. We do some Rotherham United stuff, but I would say, in terms of the channel as a whole, we cover a whole range of different leagues. You know, we'll cover all the top 5 main leagues. We cover EFL, Premier League. So I wouldn't really say we're specifically a Rotherham United podcast in any way, shape or form. But if I was ever given the opportunity by any other podcasts or people with their channels to do, you know, content with them and collaborate, then I'm always down for collaborating. You know, I like to expand our options on the channel. Of course, the best collaboration I've had is I had an opportunity with Devon Peterson, one of the players in the PDC. Brilliant person to talk to, really lovely guy. Had an opportunity to do an interview with him, and that's probably the biggest collaboration I've done on the channel with the PDC. It was a brilliant opportunity that was given. But in terms of football, we haven't actually had any football opportunities. I was looking at trying to get a few interviews with players over the summer. I will say I did actually ask Rotherham United for an interview. Something I am looking into for the summer. I'm going to try and get in contact back with them. But in terms of other opportunities, I think the other opportunity that we had is we had one opportunity to interview a Frankfurt player from the Bundesliga. But eventually, in the end, we weren't unfortunately able to sort it because of the Bundesliga season, how everything was going on for them. So that's the best opportunity we've actually had to interview a few players from the Bundesliga. But apart from that, I would love to do a few collaborations in the future, especially over the summer when we do have that period where, you know, there's no football going on, the Euros are finished. There'll literally be a month where there is no football going on, apart from friendlies and teams getting back to full fitness again. So for me, that probably will be the time where we'll try and get some few different things going on the channel. But 37 minutes on the clock here. Back to this game. Still 0-0 right now. We're going to have a free kick here for Newport, I believe. Bobby Manley calling for a free kick. Oh, Josh Slabberty just past the halfway line. And this game's just quietened down a little bit in the last few minutes. I don't know whether the drinks break has just kind of stopped the break of the high pace of the game. But here is Labadie on the ball, on the left wing. Tries to come up against Digaraga, who does very well against Labadie. And then in the end, it will go out for a throw-in. And as I said before earlier on, we know that, realistically speaking, Newport are probably one of the most dangerous teams when it comes to long throw-ins. And it's going to be Aaron Lewis, the man on the throw-in. a very, very dangerous player from them. In fact, I believe they scored from a throw-in in the semi-final not too long ago. Was the header comes in, headed away by Knight Percival, and it will go out for a Newport corner. And with a few minutes left of the first half, maybe an opportunity for Newport to open the scoring here. But Liam Coon is asked, how long have you been doing YouTube for? So we started this channel. It'll be 2 years in November. Originally, it was actually going to be me on my own doing all of the work. But I got a few of my mates from university to come and work on the channel, help out, do content. They've enjoyed it. And it's been brilliant as the corner goes in and it's headed away by Songo, who's done very well indeed. I'll come back to my talk in a second because there's a chance here for Morecambe on the counter-attack. And here comes Diagraga on the ball. What can he do here? He's not really got anybody near him. Going to play the ball out in the end too. I think it's Cooney who's come forward. Lovely ball from Cooney. Eventually comes to McAlinden. Ball playing into the middle towards Wildig, who goes for a very speculative effort. Very, very speculative. It's high and wide and out of play for a goal kick. And Tom King not really having to dive or do anything there because the ball, I think, has probably gone into the top of the stands at Wembley. And that'll be a goal kick for Newport. But yeah, in terms of how long I've done YouTube, it'll be 2 years in November. I got the guys to help out on the channel. But I've actually been doing YouTube since I was 11. And Twitch. I had a channel before when I was 11. Used to do some gaming stuff on there. You know, I was an 11-year-old when you're young. You know, you see all the YouTube content that, and you want to get a piece of the pie. That went all right. Did a lot of stuff when I was 14, 15, a lot of FIFA videos and content. That, of course, did all right. I did a lot of work on Twitch, which at one point on Twitch, I did have an opportunity where things could have actually, you know, gone probably big. And I didn't take it because I had my exams and stuff. I focused on my exams instead. So when I was about 14, 15, I did have an opportunity on Twitch where I could have genuinely got to a point where it could have become a very good opportunity to actually work as an effort taken on by Lewis on the volley from about 25, 30 yards out. And, well, he saw an opportunity to maybe make his name in the back papers, but in the end it doesn't come to anything and it goes out of play for a goal kick. But I didn't take that opportunity on. And ever since then, this has kind of been the one opportunity for me where I've really wanted to make the most of it. You know, I saw a gap in the market for watchalongs. I'd actually done some in the past on Twitch, which is something I'd done before the guys had joined on the channel. So it's a market that I wanted to kind of get into and see how it's worked. And ever since then, this has been the channel that has probably grown the quickest in terms of followers, viewers, you know, guys getting involved with donations and things. And this is something I want to work on over time. You know, want to get more content, more viewers, get you guys on board. And I've got to say, the darts one for me has been the most popular content on the channel. I mean, darts has been unbelievable for the channel. It was something I wanted to go into for a long time. I knew there was a market where nobody was really going into it with watch-alongs and commentary. And honestly, the amount of support, unbelievable. But there's going to be a chance here because Morecambe could be an opportunity. And it's a chance taken on in the end by Liam Gibson. And a really, really good block in the end that stops the ball going into the back of the net. And it was Carlos Mendes Gomez who gets the ball away from Aaron Lewis, plays the ball into Liam Gibson, and it's Tom King who just gets a slight touch on the ball. And I actually think it wasn't Tom King. It might have been Liam Shepherd who gets the touch on the ball. And I think that could have easily gone into the back of the net there. And what a chance that could have been. We're going to get a corner here for Morecambe. Ball's lobbed into the box. Comes towards the near post. It's headed out. And in fact, actually, I think the goalkeeper's given it his goal kick. Lavelle with the actual first touch on the ball. And Lavelle thinking he was pushed there. And maybe a little shout for a penalty. But when you actually see the replay in the end, he wasn't pushed at all. And the chance for Morecambe there goes wide of the mark. And it will go out of play for a goal kick. But James asked in the chat, have you ever done anything with the WWE? Yes, we have. We had a podcast that was going on every week with the wrestling, with Rowan and Simon. But they had to put that on the back burner because Simon and Rowan were doing other things in the background which took up the time. So whether that podcast comes back or not, I don't know. But Potentially in the future, there'll be a lot more wrestling content and stuff. It's not my thing. I'm not going to lie, I don't watch wrestling. I've never watched it in my life. It's not my thing. All the guys on the channel watch it. I, to be honest, don't really care about it enough to be able to go out there and watch it, if I'm being honest with you. But yes, we have done stuff with wrestling in the past. But the kind of the big stuff for us on the channel is the football, it's the darts, it's F1. And from time to time, we'll have wrestling content here and there on the channel. But honestly, the darts stuff, the way that the darts has gone, it's something I really want to look into further, to not just do the televised events and to do the floor events. Because the way that those events are going, I really do see an opportunity to take that another step further and maybe have a lot more dart stuff in the near future and get maybe something else in the background going with the darts. Because the way that you guys turn up for any darts events is absolutely unbelievable. It's crazy how many have turned up for it. So I really want to start looking into seeing if there's the possibility of doing something with the darts even more, so I can cover the floor events and things like that. But we'll have to see. Because I would love to get more into darts in the future. I think there's opportunities there. But we're into the last minute here of the first half. Probably going to be a minute or two added on because of the drinks break we had. But Louis Ashton, how you doing? Oh, you're good, mate. He's put Morecambe need a top striker like Pookie. Well, honestly, mate, I'm looking forward to seeing Norwich in the Premier League next season. I really do think I'm going to probably take Norwich under the wing as my, not hipster club, but kind of the club I'd like to see do well next season. Because I know there'll be a lot of people obviously saying Leicester and Brentford, but I really do like Norwich as a club. And I genuinely do think next season Norwich will do very well in the Premier League and stay up. But Jamie Stewart's in the chat has said, did you hear about the bike rider that died at the weekend? I did, yes. I don't know much about it in terms of what happened and the crash, but for me, it's a shame, isn't it? So young as well to unfortunately pass away, and hopefully, thoughts and prayers for his family and things like that. But really, really do feel sorry for him, because it's such a young age to be in an accident like that, and well, it's such a young age to be in any incident, isn't it? Really. Tubbs said maybe some esports. It was something we were looking into. I mean, I personally don't know enough about esports to get into it. I think Rowan and KD know a little bit more than that. But for me, the focus for me in the future is the darts. There's a chance here to be taken on, and I thought it was in. And it was Scott Bennett, and it hits the side netting, I think. But there was a slight deflection on Scott Bennett's shot, a slight deflection from Knight Percival, and in the end, when you look from the angle front facing, it looks so much closer than you think. But in the end, a really good opportunity from Scott Bennett. Hits the side netting. And very fortunate there that the ball maybe didn't actually go into the back of the net. But it will go out of play here for a corner. And maybe an opportunity for Newport to get a late goal in this game. With 2 minutes left to go. Of 3 minutes of additional time. Let's see what happens here before I read some of your comments out. Dimitru hiding behind Bennett. I feel like there's a tactic going on here. Ball lofted into the box. Very powerful corner, and a very good corner, which was eventually headed by that man, Mickey Dimitru, who was hiding to get onto the near post. But his header in the end is just a little bit too high and wide. And it will go out of play for a Morecambe goal kick as we go into the final minute and a half of this first half. 0-0 as it stands. Very even game, not many chances, but he's had the fair share of opportunities for both sides, which we'll talk about a little bit more soon. But Louis said, D'Souza's 120 finish was incredible on Thursday. I do wish I covered that night now, but funnily enough, it was the night I was moving out, so got it on that one. But Sean's asked in the chat, what about teaming up with the darts referee to cover the floor events for the PDC? I mean, it is a possibility. I've always looked with the darts, and I've said to myself, I feel I'm not a big darts streamer. I don't want to go out there and be big-headed. I think there's bigger streamers out there. I think Clash of the Tungsten, he's a big streamer in my eyes. I think he's a brilliant YouTuber. Darts referee, probably one of the biggest of the lot. Matt Edgar, who I did actually try and ask to see if we could do an interview with him, but I think because, of course, he's in the PDC, I couldn't technically go through him to do it. But I would love to do collaborations in there with other streamers. It would be great. I'd love to do more things in darts. It's something I think that is a market that is growing by the day. As the long throw-in taken by Aaron Lewis then very nearly actually went into the back of the net. Which was quite an interesting one. Imagine if that had gone into the back of the net with a throw-in. That would have been an interesting one. But Jeremy Strude saying Newport County player that's in his 40s playing today for them. He's indeed Kevin Ellison, 42. Wonder if we'll see him come on at some point in the second half. I think he will. But the referee blows the whistle for half-time. And, well, I tell you what, it's 0-0 at half-time, but it is a game that has had its fair share of opportunities in the match. Lots of opportunities left, right and centre. I think the biggest talking point of the first half was the header from Scott Bennett, which Leverendt actually got a punch on Bennett in the end. It could have been given as a penalty by Bobby Madley, but he didn't give anything in the end, and maybe Morecambe were just let off the hook very slightly with that decision, but don't take it away from Morecambe because they've had their fair share of good opportunities as well. Cole Stockton's had his little chances here and there to test the goalkeeper. He had a similar opportunity to Scott Bennett with a header, which Tom King had to punch away from goal. And then there were also a few other opportunities from the likes of Carlos Mendes Gomez and McAlinden, but apart from that, we go into the break at half-time 0-0. Both teams, I think, will be fairly happy with how they've performed so far. But surprisingly, we go into the break at 0-0, which is something we haven't done for all of the playoffs so far. And I do think, it's not been probably the best of the games yet, but it's the most even of the three matches that we've had. Both teams have had the opportunities. It's a very open game, very end-to-end. No team is really dominating the match. And when you look at the actual stats of the game as we go into half-time, 9 shots, 1 on target for Newport County. The 1 shot on target was a long-range effort, very similar to the Kenny Dougal effort that we had in yesterday's game. As for Morecambe, 5 shots, none on target with 44% possession, 56 for Newport. I would say, and I wouldn't be biased, I would say that Newport have had the better chances in the game, but Morecambe look very, very dangerous, and I wouldn't count Morecambe out from being the first team to score. I do think both teams have played very well. It's a very even game. Newport looking the better of the two sides, but not by much. It's very, very marginal, and all it takes is one chance in this game to open the scoring, and it could completely change this game and turn it on its head, and it could come to life. We'll have to see whether or not that happens indeed. But Louis put in the chat, no Blackpool away day, you must be gutted. I am. I'm very gutted. I'm very, very gutted because KL, who's a Hull fan, now gets the trip to Blackpool next season. So I'm very gutted for me because I don't get to go to Blackpool now, which is a shame. But I will be there for the Winter Gardens, touch wood, if the darts goes on. But as we are at the break, don't forget, if you are new to the stream as always, please don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. Honestly, you guys have been coming in massively with the subscriptions recently. We are pushing towards 2,300 subscribers, so your support is massively, massively appreciated. Now, you might be wondering, of course, we are at that stage of the season now where we haven't got any more league football. So what are we going to be covering? Well, I can answer that for you, my friend. Well, we've got the second half of the final league game coming up in about 10 to 15 minutes' time. That is hopefully going to be a very good second half of Morecambe Newport County. Rowan is going to be covering the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He'll be live on the 6th of June from 12:50 for the F1. Should be a good race indeed. And then, of course, we've got the Euros. You can join us on the 11th of July. The first game sees Turkey against Italy. Should be a good game, that one. That's in Group A. The 12th of July, we'll see Wales taking on Switzerland. That's from 5 to 2. You can join KL for that one. On the 12th of July. And then what a game this should be. England up against Croatia. It's a repeat of the World Cup semi-final. Should be an absolute belter of a match. That's from 5 to 2 on the 13th of July. We will be covering a whole host of matches. It's not just those games we'll be covering. We'll be covering other ones as well in between. Of course, we'll confirm more of those as we get closer. So if you do want to see when we do go live and what games we will be covering over the period of the Euros and across the next few weeks, then do join us on our social media pages. Our Twitter is @the_top corner and our Instagram is _sportscorner_. We are going to try and use our Instagram a little bit more over the summer so you guys can go on there and support us on there. But if you want to find out best when we are live, then do check out our Twitter. That is the place to go to find out when we do go live and what's coming up on the channel. Link is in the description. And as always, he's an absolute legend. Link is in the chat as well. Carl's very kindly put it in. You can also check out our website as well, which is thesports-corner.com. It's a little bit quiet on there right now. Not really many articles up, but if you do want to go and check out some of the past content that we've got on there, then I highly do recommend checking it out. I'm going to try and get some more content out on there over the next few weeks. But Louis asked, well, he said in the chat, after we watching North Macedonia versus Austria, absolute battle game. Genuinely, Louis, we are doing it. We're probably going to cover that one. I've got a little bit of affiliation with North Macedonia because of Goran Pandev. So genuinely, we're going to try and cover, I would say, 90% of the games. Because I've always said, with the Euros and the World Cup, usually I'm watching the matches anyway. So why not cover them at the same time? Get a few YouTube videos up and get you guys involved as well. Because then we can all watch these games and enjoy it and have a lovely little summer. But yeah, I'm going to be covering a lot of games this summer. And hopefully, yeah, should have a few good games overall with the Euro. Should be an absolute belter of a tournament. But yeah, this will be the last watch along for me until the 11th of July. I'm going to take a 2-week break. My birthday's coming up, my 21st as well. Looking forward to it in a few days' time. So it'll be a little bit of a break from me. But there will be other content going up. Rowan will be doing a large part of the content over the next week. He's going to be doing some of the A-League games over the next few weeks. So do check out all of the A-League action as that comes to a halt in the next few weeks. So Rome will be covering a few of those games over the next week. But apart from that, I think it'll be fairly quiet over the next few days. Not really much going on apart from the Under-20 Championships. And I think there's a lot of international friendlies, which I don't really care about covering because there's nothing on the line and it's just a friendly, isn't it? I don't think many teams will be really too bothered about them. It's just about getting that fitness, isn't it, ahead of the Euros, which, to be fair, I think every player has got good enough fitness after the season that we've just had. But Chris has said comfortable win for Austria. You never know. I mean, let's not forget North Macedonia beat Spain not too long ago. I mean, that game was incredible. I know it was only, I think it was a friendly, wasn't it? But what a win for them in the end. And then Kyle said, do you want me to start adding the Insta link as well when you do start using it more often? Yeah, if you want to, Kyle, then you're more than welcome to. I'll start getting that up to date soon because when it comes to social media, graphics and everything like that, I cover everything pretty much in terms of that respect. So I'm going to try and get my Insta stuff sorted out and get my A game on with the social media content. But yeah, when we do get it up there a little bit more, then definitely put it in the chat because it's greatly appreciated. And then Peter Thompson said in the chat, Germany to win the Euros. I mean, Joachim Löw's last Euros as well. So maybe he could. Of course, he's called up Muller and Hummels, which I think is something he had to do for the Euros. So I really do think, yeah, there's a good possibility Germany will be up there this season. As long as they don't fuck up, because there is going to be one of those teams in the group, Portugal, France or Germany, that are going to have to rely on that third place spot. So if they do lose a few of those games, might actually knock one of them out anyway. Chris saying Sweden can cope with that. And I think they can, yeah. They've got Isaac, they've got Kaison, they've got a few brilliant players in that team. I think they're more than good enough without him. They've proved it over the time that Zlatan's not been there, that they're a good enough team. And then Louis says, rumours going around that Rashford's going to be one of the 7 to miss out. Who do you reckon? I would probably say out of the 7 players, I would probably say the 2 centre-backs that were called up, Ben White and... Who was the other one that was called up? There was another player. I forgot who it was. But whoever the other one was, he's probably going to get booted out of the squad. I think Aaron Ramsdale will get booted out, unfortunately. I don't think we need 4 keepers or 3 in the squad. I think 2's good enough, to be honest with you. I would say... Who's in the midfield? I haven't really got the England team. Until I get the England team up... I'm going to very quickly get the England team up... well, the 26-man squad up, and we'll talk through that for a second while we've got a little bit of a chance to have a break. But Carl's put in the chat, happy early birthday, Josh. Thank you very much indeed. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have a nice meal out. I'm not going to lie, I'm not one of those types of people where, you know, go out to the nightclubs and things like that. I am going to be having quite a preserved birthday in, so I'm going to have some food, go out, and just chill out, really, because I'm not too massively fussed about going on to nightclubs and things. And to be fair, nightclubs aren't even open anyway. Right, so I've got the team up. So I've got the 26-man squad up. I'm going to pick my 7 players that I would boot out of the squad. So first player I'm booting out is probably Aaron Ramsdale. I don't think we need 4 keepers. I think we only need 3, probably 2 tops. But I think you have to register 3 keepers anyway. So Ramsdale goes out of the squad. I'm booting out Ben White and Ben Godfrey. I don't think we need those. I think there's 6 centre-backs there. We only need 4, so they are 2 that get booted out. I am booting out... This is a tough one. This is a very tough one, because you now get to that stage of the squad where there are so many players that you probably want to keep in. I'm going to boot out... You know what? I'm going to boot out another keeper. I'm going to boot out Sam Johnston. That's 4 players. I'm going to boot out 2 keepers. I think you need 3, but I'm booting 1 out anyway. I'm going to boot out Bukayo Saka. I'm going to boot out Calvert-Lewin. No, Ollie Watkins, sorry. And I'm going to boot out James Ward-Prowse. There's the 7 I would take out. Now, I am doing that under pressure. I'm not going to lie. And maybe there's other players that you'd probably quite blatantly take out of the squad. But they're the ones I'm going to take out for now. Probably actually no. Don't take out Ollie Watkins. Take out one of the fullbacks, because I don't think we need as many of them. I don't know who you take out in that situation, because they're all bloody good. But Chris saying Trent shouldn't be booted out, but Southgate will. Don't know what it is about Southgate. Doesn't seem to like him, does he? As Peter said, I think France will not qualify. There is always an upset, and I think they're going to be going for it. Well, they're the ones who, of course, got to the final, but didn't they, in the last Euros? Portugal are going to have to try and defend it. That group is going to be very exciting, because every game is critical in that group. You cannot afford, realistically, to drop many points in that group, or else you could be one of the teams that doesn't make it through, because we know with the Euros, it's the 3rd place spots. I think it's 5 or 6 of the teams that go through from 3rd place. There's a good opportunity that one of those top 3 teams, if they don't get a win in their first game, have got a real chance of getting booted out. Because realistically, they'd only get 3 points against Hungary. There could be other teams elsewhere that could get 4 or 5 and still not get out of their groups, and they would be the better teams to go through to, of course, the next round because of the 3rd place position. But do put your comments in the chat. As I said, I'm not going to put a break on today. We're just going to rock on and roll until the game starts up again. But like overall, this game has had its fair share of chances. I think it's had a few decent opportunities. We'll talk through the benches in a little moment time. But I'm not going to take a break today, because usually I'll take a break, go down, get a few drinks and that. But I'm all right for now. As Michael has asked in the chat, do you think during the Euros and the start of next season, football stadiums will allow the full complement of football supporters back into stadiums? If things go the way they are now, yes. I think, especially in England specifically, I do think we need to get to a point now, and I don't want to go on the COVID talk because we spoke about it so much, but I do think we need to get to a point now where we do get back to a normal. We don't have the lockdowns and things like that. I think we're all sick of them. And I do think, yeah, we're on that way now for England specifically to get full stadiums, full capacities back for the next season and for the Euros, because I believe, if I'm correct, there is a possibility that the England-Scotland game, the last group match, could actually have, or whenever it is we play Scotland, might have a full capacity, which would be incredible, because if that's the first game England have with a full crowd, that's going to be an absolutely bonkers match because of the crowd being there, the derby, the atmosphere. It'll be tense and it'll be a bloody good game to watch. But yeah, I do think we will get full supporters back in stadiums, hopefully by the beginning of the season. I would like that. Other countries, obviously, I don't know as much about France, Italy, Germany, Spain, how the COVID is and things like that. But I want to see fans back in stadiums again. And hopefully we do get to June in a few weeks on the 21st. Things just open back up. And if we do spike, just get on with life. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, no matter what happens, if things do open up, there's going to be spikes no matter what happens. We've just got to accept it and get on with it, unfortunately, as much as it's awful to say. But Louis saying, there's always one player that makes a name for themselves in the Euros. The last one was Renato Sanchez. The next one for me will be Scotland's Jack Hendry. Very underrated. It's an interesting one, isn't it, the Euros? As you said, there's always that one player that comes out and surprises everyone, and usually they get a massive move to a big club. I remember when at the World Cup, Takashi Inui, if you remember him, the Japanese winger who had an absolutely unbelievable World Cup for Japan, he got a move because of his insane performance. There is always one player that plays very well and gets a big move. James Rodriguez was the star of the World Cup in 2014, I guess you could say. But Peter Thompson's saying he thinks 75% tops. I think even then, even if we get 3/4 of fans back, it's just going to be good to see stadiums almost full, and nearly full to the top. But I think right now with how things are in the world, in England, we're in a very good position compared to other nations and countries. And realistically, I'm just looking forward to what should be a very good summer. As long as we can get to the end of July and we have full fans, because I have got tickets for the darts in Blackpool. So I really want to go there and witness it. But we'll have to see. But both teams coming out for the second half. That's gone very quickly, hasn't it? Didn't even get time to actually look at who was on the bench. But it doesn't really matter, because I don't think anybody's come on. But let's see what happens in the game as we get underway with what is the final 45 minutes of action in the EFL and in league football this season. Who is going to be a hero, or will we be going to extra time and or maybe penalties at Wembley? Of course, Newport have had their fair share of late drama in playoffs over the last few years. They were in the latter stages of extra time in that game against Forest Green a few days ago, in which they eventually won it, courtesy of Nicky Maynard in the last few minutes. Last season, or a few seasons ago, sorry, they had a penalty shootout in the semi-finals, which they won. They were taken to extra time in the previous playoff final as well, so they do know they're probably quite used to playing 120 minutes of action, Newport. They'll just be hoping today that they don't have to do that, and that they can win this game before the whistle is blown in the 90th minute. But that is the correct link, Kyle. You've got it spot on there, my friend. Tubbs saying Mario Götze as well. That's a very good one. Of course, he got a big move, didn't he, from that World Cup. Then it went to shit for him, bless him. But Chris saying, agree, Josh, got to live normal life now. We lived with the flu when that first came out. Exactly. As I said, I don't really want to get into it too much, but I think we've just got to enjoy ourselves now. I feel like we're at that point where let's live with it, let's enjoy our lives, and let's forget it ever happened, as we are now underway with the second half. Tubbs saying a lot watching today. Honestly, the amount of support that you guys have brought over the last weekend of action, unbelievable. There was 150 of you guys yesterday, and girls, of course, in the stream. 50 of you for League Two today. So a massive thank you to all of you for coming in, because, look, I've got a very annoying voice, so you've had to put up with it all weekend long. Luckily, you get a 2-week break from my voice, but honestly, big thank you. Because there'll be other streamers out there, no doubt, covering the game. But the fact you've chose to come here and sit back and relax means the world to me. So thank you very much indeed. As Newport have got a corner here in the early stages of the second half. My bet died because neither team scored. So my £5 free bet went to shit. But got a corner here. And the Newport fans are in full voice as they try to push their team towards an early opening goal in the second half. As Cal says, I start adding that one now. Shall I wait until you're all set up? If you want to start adding it now, you're more than welcome to. And then everybody can start following if they want to. But Connor's going to be logged in. Everyone's back for Morecambe. What will happen? Ball played short. And he tries to play it short to Armand. Or, well, Podrick Armand is how I'm pronouncing it from now on. As, realistically, little chance there for Newport. Goes wide of the mark. And it was a decent idea to play it short, but I don't think Podrick was ready for it. But there might be a chance here as the shot's taken on, and it's a good save from Lefferen, and an opportunity there for Lewis Collins to open the scoring. And what a brilliant opportunity it was. It was a header from Podrick Armand into the path of Lewis Collins. Takes the shot on Collins. There's a slight deflection on the ball from Lavelle, but Lefferen is able to make the save, and in the end, it's a good chance. As Peter Thompson says, 12 days, not 2 weeks. It's nearly 2 weeks, isn't it? 2 days difference isn't too much. But Louis said, only found this channel last week. Can't wait to get away Sports Corner for the Euros. Can't wait. Thank you so much, Louis. You're a legend. Bloody love you, man. Bloody love all of you. You're all legends for coming in. Looking forward to the Euros, though. You'll get some good celebrations, that's for sure. I'm hoping with the England games, we can get most of us together for it. That's the aim, because I assume most of us won't be doing anything over the summer. We'll all be watching the Euros, so I'm hoping we can get all of us involved with it and get us in together. But we'll have to see whether or not that happens. As Tim says, come on, County. How are you doing, Tim? Oh, you're good, mate. And Pete Lucas is in the building. He says, his bet's still on. Best of luck for it, mate. I've got my fingers crossed for you. As Peter Thompson is saying, Newport, backing them all the way. Here's Morecambe, though. With Lavelle. Tries to feed a ball onto the wing towards Carlos Mendes Gomez, but the pass in the end is a little bit too heavy, and the Spaniard, who is quite a rapid player, former Atletico Madrid man, just isn't rapid enough to get onto that ball. And I wonder next season if Carlos Mendes Gomez is going to be one of the players that gets picked up if Morecambe don't stay up. Don't stay up. My apologies. Don't go up. I think he's a very, very good player. He's got good potential to become a top player in the future. And I would assume there'll be a few League One, maybe a few Championship clubs after him. I wouldn't be surprised if Morecambe stick a quite hefty price tag on him. Because he's a very good player. Very, very good for his age. Very tricky, very quick. Quality player this season for Morecambe. And I do think there'll be a few clubs look at him maybe next season. But looking in the chat, Pete Lucas saying, watching the game on the table. Very best to look, Pete, for that bet. Hopefully it comes through for you. What's on the bet again, Pete? You'll have to tell us in the chat. But 5 minutes into it, into the second half, Morecambe 0, Newport 0. Are we going to get an enthralling second half? Or is it going to be the tight affair that it was in the first? We will have to see whether or not. As apparently, what was that? Is something about Tubbs getting fired? No, Tubbs, you're not getting fired. You're not getting fired at all. Your job is safe on the channel. Nobody's job is at risk. It's not. Well, I'm about to say it's not even a job. It's an honour to give you the mod badge. Your job is more than safe. You are the if you were the equivalent of the manager, you are untouchable right now in terms of your moderator position. But is it the grand that's on? The $1 grand. Very best of luck, mate. Very, very best of luck. That is a hell of a lot of money. And of course, Peter as well. You're part of that bet, aren't you? But best of luck to you, mate, Peter. A lot of money on the line there. I couldn't put a grand bet on as well. I'd be absolutely bricking myself if I put £1,000 on a bet. I think the highest bet I've put on is 20 quid. But apart from that, if I put a grand on, I'd absolutely be bricking myself. But we're just seeing Kevin Ellison warming up. 42-year-old. Fair play to him. 42, still playing in League Two. And is in good condition, as we're also seeing Nicky Maynard as well, who scored the winning goal in the semi-final against Forest Green to win that match 5-4 on aggregate. One of the most unbelievable playoff games. But here come Newport coming forward. Ball played into the path of Lewis Collins. Good defended in the end by Knight Percival, who absolutely hacks him down and wipes the ball out of play. And I wonder if Nicky Maynard today is wondering, why am I not playing? I don't know if Lewis Collins actually scored in the second leg, because we were live covering another one of the matches going on. But chance here, though, for an opportunity for Padraig Amond. Plays the ball into the box. There's no one there to get it. And in the end, Ryan Cooney has let the ball go out of play for a Morecambe throw-in. And just seeing that crossing from Padraig, it was a very good cross. Trying to get it towards the near post towards Lewis Collins, who, of course, is being bodied by two Morecambe defenders. And in the end, again, it's just another one of those chances. Very similar to the one that Cole Stockton had earlier, where you probably want a midfielder or a winger to cross the ball in, and somebody like Padraig to be on the cross in the end at the near post to be able to head it into the back of the net. But another little chance there for Newport. Another opportunity. And as the time ticks on, we'll have to see whether or not one of these two sides is able to break the duct, unless we will go to extra time. Chris has put in the chat, Southgate, for a Liverpool point of view, thank you for a proper rest, a proper pre-season. And we go again. On behalf of football fans, it's the decision that will get you the most scrutiny, which is not taking Trent. And I think Trent has got to go. I think he's got to go. We are blessed with so many good right-backs, but for me, Trent is the best one. In terms of attacking play, at the least. As Peter's put a grand at 6-4. I lost my last two games, but was lucky with Chelsea with 600 quid at 14-5, which gave me free bets. Honestly, mate, best of luck for you. Best of luck. Louis saying, for me, I reckon Rotherham should sign Lewis Wing. Very talented player. Yeah, I would love to sign him, but I think next season, with the way that he played for us, he'll probably be in Middlesbrough's team next season. And I don't think we'll have enough money to sign him anyway. I think we were talking earlier. I think it's quite clear we're looking to sign 7 or 8 players next season, Rotherham, from what I heard. That was in the rumour mill. But I just don't think we'd have enough money to sign Lewis Wing permanently. I would love to get him because he was so good for us last season. One of the players that really worked hard. But I think in the end, I think he'll be going back to Middlesbrough and playing, which, fair play to him. He deserves it. As Pete Lucas has said, 13p free bet off Ladbroke. I get £39.13 if it comes in. What's the bet itself? I'm guessing it's got to be like an ACCA type thing, with yellow cards and things like that. You'll have to tell us in the chat. But Derek Adams on the touchline, obviously in his jumper, must be absolutely roasting. In fact, I'm going to have a look at how warm it is in Wembley today. Wembley weather. It's 25 degrees in Wembley today. So he's in a jumper. It's 25 degrees. Must be absolutely roasting in that jumper. But fair play to him. He's got the nice attire on today. As Tubbs says, hasn't he signed permanently? It's sad. Yeah, he's not, sadly. I don't think there was any clause in the contract for him to sign permanently. It was just a fixed loan deal. So I think he will go back next season to Middlesbrough and get some game time because he deserves it. Been brilliant for us. And I think Middlesbrough next season, I've got a big feeling Middlesbrough are going to either get the playoffs or go up. I really do. I think next season's massive for them. I think did they let Assombalonga go recently and Fletcher? So that was like 25 million quid's worth of strikers they just let go like that. It's mad. But we're just seeing now, a stat that's been coming up over the last few days in the playoffs, the team that scores first, out of 30 games since 1990, 22 of the teams that have scored first have won the match. That's 73.3% of the teams that have scored first have gone on to win the final. And with the way that this game is going, and how it's panned out in the last 10 to 15 minutes of this second half, it really does feel like, unless something changes quick, this game could go the same way with a late goal, a late opportunity, and somebody bags a late winner and takes the team up. We'll have to see. But Chris saying it's 20 degrees, blue sky here in Carlisle. I got the fan on in my room while watching this game. I think it's 22 degrees here, but it doesn't feel like it, which is good because usually when I do streams, I'm absolutely sweltering, I'm sweating, I'm boiling. But yeah, right now it's quite nice actually. It's quite fresh, which is weird. But ball's cleared away from the Morecambe half. Dimitriou gets it away. And we're just seeing as well, Newport this season, top goal scorer is Paul Dragamond. 9 goals, which isn't a lot when you think about it in the whole complexion of a season. But they've also got Abrahams with 8 goals. Matt Dolan scored 7. Scott Twine's also scored 7. So the goals are evenly distributed around the Newport team. When we look at the Morecambe side, of course, there's 2 players with 15 goals this season. Mendes Gomez and Cole Stockton, the 2 with 30 goals between them. But you just feel like somebody's going to have to step up in this game soon. Because as you said, Louis, in the chat, Newport need a proper striker. Top goal scorer hasn't even got double figures, which is, for me, just... It's not good enough, in my opinion, if you're a Newport fan. You do need another striker to go out there and get double figures. And I thought maybe someone like Paul Dragamond would be the man to go out there and get double figures. But as Chris said, Maynard did arrive in January. He did, on a loan deal, I think. He goes back to... I can't remember where he was originally, but he goes back to his parent club after this game, I think. Unless Newport signed him up permanently. But, I mean, he put his name into Newport folklore very quick with the winning goal. But I will say, this last 10 or 15 minutes has not really been entertaining. Not really any chances, as the referee might have given opportunity for Morecambe to break forward. Might be an opportunity here. Going to play it into the path of Stockton. Tries to flick a ball into the path of Aaron Wildig, but just doesn't quite get there before Tom King makes the ball first. And it will be very comfortable for Tom King, who's not had much to do in this game so far. And I think you could say the same about Leffron. Both goalkeepers have had Not really a great deal to do whatsoever in the game. But you just feel like as this game continues on, as we get closer towards the end of the 90 minutes, you do feel like one of these two teams has got to surely break the duct, and then we'll see both teams really going for it. And to be fair, I think both teams will go for it anyway with either played. But here's Sheehan, goes for the long-range effort, and it's a speculative effort, but it had to be held by Lefferen. And a good little effort indeed, and we've seen a few good efforts and good goals from outside the box over the weekend in the playoffs. The Ivan Toney opportunity, the 2 goals from Kenny Dougal. Certainly good goals indeed, but speculative there. And Newport, they've had a few good screamers, haven't they, over the last few weeks? Ellison with one of them and Dolan with the other in the Forest Green games. So maybe it might be a case of hit and hope from outside the box in this last half an hour. As the referee, I think, has given a free kick to Newport County in the end. And there's a few questions being asked by Cole Stockton there on the referee, but Dimitri in the end getting the free kick for Newport. And a chance for them to push up the pitch. Here's Ryan Haynes pushing down the left-hand side. Really good work from Haynes. He's got Collins and Pordrag in the box. Here's Haynes. Plays it towards the near post. Lewis Collins was waiting for it. Doesn't get to him in the end. And it's headed away by Lavelle. It'll come back to Sheehan. Going to flick it long towards Aaron Lewis. Good touch from him. Not really got anybody near him though. He's going to have to play it into the middle. Here's Lewis. Was going to go for the long-range effort. Plays it into the path of Sheehan. Chance here for Pordrag and he takes the shot on, but Carlos Mendes Gomez gets a touch on the ball, and it'll be a corner. And a big opportunity that was there for Newport. Probably one of the best opportunities we've had in the first 15 minutes of the second half. But Leo Football TV's asked, what app do you make your graphics on? Genuinely, I've just made them on Photoshop. I made them all myself over the season, but corner's going to come in for Newport. Very high. Very high. Really poor. And Scott Bennett gets a touch. But in the end, it'll go for a Morecambe throw-in. And a real waste of a corner in the end there. But yeah, honestly, Leo Football TV, the graphics that I've made, I've made them all this season on the channel. I've just made them on Photoshop. What I basically did is I just got pictures of the graphics from the EFL and things like that. And just made them myself. So that's literally all I've done for it. I think they look alright. I think they look decent. But yeah, all the graphics and stuff is what I usually make in my spare time. But we're going to get a change here. As Aaron Lewis is going to come off. First substitution of the match. And Aaron Lewis, the long throw taker of the game, comes off the pitch. And we are going to see Taylor coming off. And we're going to see another change as well here for Newport. So that's 2 changes made. And Matt Dolan comes off the pitch. And Anthony Hartigan comes on with half an hour left of the game. And he started the second leg of the playoff final against Forest Green. He comes on to maybe be the hero here with the last half an hour of the game. But looking at what you guys have been saying in the chat. Inter Milan saying Antonio Conte to Morecambe. Maybe if Derek Adams leaves, who knows? They might need him someday. Conte with a 3-5-2. We'll have to see. Tubbs saying normal Philippine weather is around 27 degrees here. You guys would roast it. I'd probably melt, to be honest, mate. It gets to about 23, 24, and usually I'm sweltering. Louis saying, did Unai Emery watch your FM? And that's how he won the Europa League. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he did. He took the tactics from us. We'll have to see. And then Carissa said, imagine an Ellison winner. Who knows? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I want to see him come on. It would be some drama, wouldn't it? If he was to go and score the winning goal. To be absolute drama indeed. But who knows? Who knows? As we reach the final 25 minutes of the game. Raphael Timothy, welcome along to the stream, my friend. He says, hello, bro, from Indonesia. Welcome, mate. Hope you're all good. James asks, why do you have two scoreboards? To be honest, it just fills the screen up. That's why we got 2 scoreboards. It just fills the screen up. What we used to do is we used to have something else on the bottom of the screen. You know, if there were other games going on, we'd have like the scores going on the bottom of the screen. But when we've only got one game going on, we just have 2 scoreboards up. It fills the screen up. Louis saying your football knowledge is crazy. Thank you very much. Honestly, mate, after years and years of watching football, I'd say my knowledge isn't too bad. I'd say my knowledge is all right, I guess. Long throw in here for Newport. Ball goes into the box. Could be an effort for the bicycle kick, and well, I was getting a little bit too excited. It was speculative from Lewis Collins, but he went for it in the end. And it was that long throw-in. He had a really good opportunity. Bull came to him, just positions his body to go for the bicycle kick, but in the end, it's an awkward one to go for, isn't it? The acrobatic effort, and it goes wide of the mark for a goal kick. And in the last 10 minutes, Newport have had 72% possession to Morecambe's 28. Derek Adams will be thinking here maybe he might have to make a few changes and see whether or not he can get himself a few more opportunities in this game, Morecambe, because they've not had many in the last 20 minutes or so of the match. Just have a look at the chat as well. MEFC Talk, I said, are you doing Turkey tonight? It's just this game today. However, we will be doing Turkey against Italy at the Euros, which I'm really looking forward to. That should be an absolute belter of a game. Really, really excited for that one. Turkey have had a very good year. I think they're going to be underdogs at the Euros. As MEFC Talks says, do you use OBS? Yes, we use... I use Streamlabs OBS, yes. So, yes, is the easy answer on that one. And then Tubbs says, the lower scoreboard will be replaced by a Manscaped advert soon. I wish. Unfortunately, we're not as big as the likes of the Arsenal fan TVs and the United stands of the world. So I don't think anytime soon we'll be having Manscaped advertising us. Maybe one day. We'll have to see. But here come Morecambe. Songo told to shoot by the crowd. He opts to not. Long range effort taken on by Cooney. Good punch away by Tom King. And I thought for a second there, is he still in the chat? If you're in the building, Ryan Cooney, I thought for a second your cousin was going to have a shot on have an opportunity on goal there, but it was Ryan Cooney who took the effort on, takes a touch about 30 yards out, straight to the keeper. Obviously, Tom King pushes it away from the goal. It's a simple parry in the end, to be fair, but Cooney there had a little opportunity on goal, and the Cooney household, who were actually in the building, I don't know if the Cooney household are still here, but thought for a second there Cooney was actually going to get a goal in this game. As MEFC Talk, it said, do you know Goldbridge? Not personally. I wish I did. I know a friend who is actually working for him, but I don't actually know Goldbridge myself. When it comes to like fan channels and stuff, I'll be honest, we don't have much affiliation, and that's not because we don't want to. It's just because I don't think we're big enough to have affiliations. Do you know what I mean? There's so many other big channels out there. You know, we've only got 2k subs. I think there's other fan channels, realistically, is what I want to say, which have got bigger audiences than us. But I appreciate everybody that turns up, because we do want to build the channel and get bigger and bigger over the next few years. And honestly, the support recently has been unbelievable. The subscriber count has shot up massively. The views have shot up massively. And credit to everybody for coming. As Collins drives forward. Brilliant work from Collins. Onto the wing. Tries to play a ball into the box. Left foot has to get a slight touch on the ball. And the save is made. And I think it's actually been flagged as an offside in the end. And it will be a goal kick. But a brilliant run there from Lewis Collins, who takes on his man. Gets onto the left wing. And in fact, it does go out of play in the end. And it was a goal kick, which was given. But a good opportunity, and a little opportunity there for Lewis Collins, who took on his man. And we are at that midway point of the second half. And we are going to have a drinks break again. Of course, the weather today is around about 25, 26 degrees at Wembley. So it does give some of these players a little opportunity to take a moment to go back to Derek Adams and Michael Flynn. Have the team talk. And it does give us a moment, of course, to talk through some of the content on the channel. So if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel if you are new. It's massively appreciated. Here's a look at some of the content over the next few days on the channel. Of course, we've got the Morecambe Newport County games still going on. Going to have to see whether or not we can get a few more opportunities in that game. Azerbaijan Grand Prix, that's on the 6th of June from 10 to 1. You can join Rome for that if you're a big fan of the F1. And then the Euros will start. That's the next time when I'll be back. Turkey-Italy is the opening game of the tournament. That's from 7:55. We've got Wales-Switzerland. That's the second game of the tournament. That's from 1:55 with KL. There'll be other games in between, but then the big one for the England fans, of course, England-Croatia. Group D, 1:55, 13th of June, repeat of the World Cup semi-final. Should be an absolute belter of a tournament. Don't forget, we'll be covering other games at the Euros as well. It's not just those games, but they are the standout fixtures that we're going to be covering in the opening section of the Euros. But as the players have a drinks break, MEFC Talk saying, am I copying United stand by doing transfer news and I have my own graphics? No, I wouldn't say you are. I wouldn't say you are. To be honest with you, the way that the channels run, the thing is, people are always going to go out there and they'll have their own take on stuff. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say you're copying the United stand at all, because realistically, if I said yes, then technically we're copying the United stand with watchalongs and things like that. But I just personally think, do your own thing. Everybody has their own takes on things. They have their own personal thoughts, opinions, personalities as well. And that's what people tune in for. You know, Mark Goldbridge, there's a reason why he's one of the most popular content creators out there, because he's got an incredible personality. He's a lovely, lovely guy. Arsenal Fan TV, people watch it for the personalities. The same with the Liverpool fan channels, Redmen TV. I think they've got an incredible thing going on there with the likes of Chris Pajak and Paul. You know, they're really good, bright personalities which people want to watch. So honestly, mate, go for it. And you never know. You don't know where it'll take you. Everybody's got to start somewhere. That's what I think, personally. And then Raphael says, I'm in Indonesia. Here we don't have an official streaming channel, so I watch you for League Two. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Raphael. Honestly, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. And then Tubb says, you guys are doing brilliantly, Josh. All the big ones started as fledglings anyway. Exactly. You've all got to start from somewhere. That's for sure. As Kevin Ellison's got sun cream on his head. He's got sun cream on his... That's all I could think of off the top of my head then. I think he will be coming on soon though, Kevin Ellison. With 20 minutes left of this game. I think we do need a few more fresh ideas, because with the way it's going right now, 20 more minutes left, and we will be going into extra time and /or penalties, which, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing, but this second half hasn't had as much in it. Ball lofted into the box, comes towards Lewis Collins, who tries to get a touch, tries to then keep the ball in play, and he just can't keep it in the end, and it will be a Morecambe throw-in in their own half. As Tim says, share on all platforms, please. Thank you very much, Tim. You're a legend. As Chris says, I couldn't give a coin toss what people think of me in my channel. I give my honest opinions. I'm not too fierce. Well, that's the best thing to do, isn't it? Give your honest opinions. People come to your channel for personality and your opinions. So I wouldn't change your opinions and personality to fit an agenda or things like that, which is why I like to be as honest as I possibly can at the end of the day. So yeah, that's the best thing to do, isn't it, with YouTube? And then Michael Brown says, I've heard a rumour that Derby will be docked points for financial irregularities, like Sheffield Wednesday had last season and Wigan the season before. If it happens, Derby will be relegated. I don't think it can happen this season, Michael. I think the rumour going about was it would be added on next season. I think that's from what we heard. Next season is when it be added on. Same as Wednesday. They get the points deduction at the beginning of the season. And they'd obviously have to fight back to claw it back. But, to be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't really know much about the situation. Well, I know bits about it, but I don't know the situation to whether they'll get a points deduction or not. MEFC Talks asked, how many did you get so many subs? Honestly, by grinding. We've done a lot of work in the past. We've done deadline day streams where we stream for 12 hours. That got us a lot of subs. Watchalongs like this, for example, brings in large audiences. We've always tried to innovate and think of different, and not necessarily new creative ideas, but ideas that can get new people in, and hopefully they enjoy the content, and I hope that's what we've done on the channel. But back to the game, because Sheehan's coming forward here. Ball played in to Taylor, back to Sheehan again. Was going to go for the long range effort. Plays it out to Taylor. Ball lofted into the box. Nobody's there. It comes out into the path of Ryan Haynes. What can Haynes do here? Tries to take on his man. Flicks a ball into the box. Comes towards Collins. Doesn't get to him in the end. And now there's a chance here for Morecambe to break. It's going to be Carlos Mendes-Gomez into McAlinden. Mendes-Gomez makes the run forward, but there is a foul in the middle of the pitch from Scott Bennett, and the referee will give a free kick to Morecambe at the halfway line with about 15 minutes left of the game. And now there is a little bit of a sense of urgency beginning to build for both teams. I would probably say it's becoming a little bit more end-to-end than what it has been in the first 20 or so minutes of the second half. And there's got to be a sense of bravery and urgency from both sets of players and teams now as they look to try and get the winning goal to take them into League One next season. And Tim says you've got to know your football if you're going to have a football stream. Exactly. You've got to know your football in terms of when it comes to football streams. And knowledge-wise as well, I think for me, I've always had... I watch a lot of football, off stream. I used to watch a lot of different leagues. I'd watch the top 5 leagues, Liga NOS, Russian League, all those types of different leagues. I'd watch a lot. So for me, knowledge has become massively helpful when it comes to doing these streams. As Amma Hassan's in the building, says, let's go, bro. Well in, how you doing, mate? Hope you're all good. Welcome along to the stream, my friend. Hope you're all good as always. MEFC says, why don't you use the green screen? The only reason why I don't use it, and I'll show you the reason why now, is because I need a little bit of lighting on it. So the filter I use, let me turn the filter on. You can see on the background how it's all grainy. What I have to do basically is I have to put lighting on when I use the actual green screen. So, because it's warm, because it's really hot weather, I don't tend to usually use it as often. I have used it for the darts a lot, but not for now, because it's warm enough as it is. I don't want to melt from the heat of the lights. But I will be using it more in the future, I hope. Slender Cannon says, cheering Morecambe from Mexico. How are you doing, Slender? Very best of luck with the rest of this game, as I've just seen Nicky Maynard is getting ready to come onto the pitch. Carl asks, could we see extra time and maybe pens? We'll have to see. We'll have to see, indeed. And then Carl says, every YouTuber has their own take on different topics. Yeah, you could have 4, let's say, Liverpool fan channels, but each is to their own, and they do have their own style on topics. All you can do is your best. Exactly. Liam Cooney, he's in the building still. He's back. Still 0-0. Thought Ryan Cooney would have stepped up to bag at least 2 right now. Honestly, mate, I thought for a second when he took on the long-range effort, we were going to have a Cooney moment. But unfortunately not. I'm just going to try and move my leg a second. Apologies. I hope the camera doesn't crash off. It's very warm here. But Newport coming forward, trying to push to get that goal. We've got 15 minutes left of the game. Raphael has asked, where do I live? I live in the UK. Dimitri is going for a long-range effort. Shot is blocked in the end by Lavelle. And Newport will continue to come forward and try and put pressure on this Morecambe side, who haven't actually made a change yet. And I'm very surprised they haven't. I thought they'd probably make one soon. As Newport try and dominate the game. Here's a chance for Sheehan. Plays it into the path of Labadie. I've got hiccups. Oh dear. Not the right time to get him. Here's Ryan Haynes on the ball on the left wing. Lovely work from Haynes. Plays it to the edge of the box. It's Sheehan. Takes the shot on long range. It's blocked. Comes back to Sheehan again. Goes for long range. And it's a good save from Lefferen. And it had to be turned over. And that was a real good opportunity for Newport to get themselves that all-important leading goal in the game. And it was a good effort from outside the box. We'd already seen the effort taken on a moment ago, but it's curled towards the bottom right-hand corner. It was Shepherd in the end who took it on. And it's a good save from Lefferen. Tips it away from the right-hand side of the post, because that definitely was going into the bottom right-hand corner. And it's going to be a corner here for Newport. Lobbed in by Haynes. Comes to the edge of the box. Eventually cleared away by Morecambe. And Gibson eventually is going to have Mendes-Gomez running after the ball. But he won't get it in the end as Tom King is able to clear it away and keep the danger from Morecambe away. But here comes Newport again. Could be an opportunity now. Here's Ryan Haynes on the left wing trying to push forward. Ball into the box, aiming to get it towards Labadie. And it's turned away by Songo. And the pressure is really beginning to build now on Morecambe as Newport look to improve that sense of urgency that we haven't really seen in the second half by either of the two teams. But Newport trying to take it to Morecambe now. And you can clearly see Morecambe aiming to hit on the break. But is it going to be good enough for them? Will it be the tactic that works, as we're going to have that other corner for Newport, but it's not going to be made, or taken yet, sorry, because Nicky Maynard comes on, and coming off is Padre Gamond, who has had an alright game today, not got the goal he would have probably wished for in the final, but Nicky Maynard comes on, and the hero of the semi-final, could he become a hero in this game? We'll have to find out, as Slender Cannon says, Morecambe has fans in Mexico. Honestly, fair play to you, man. I bet it must... What time is it in Mexico right now? You'll have to tell us. As Haynes lobs the corner into the box, and, well, there's nobody there for it. It's a really poor cross. It's cleared out, but comes back once again to Newport. Lewis Collins with a cross. Slight deflection on the ball, and again, Newport County with another corner in this game, and another chance here maybe for them to try and get a goal with 10 minutes left of this game. And I swear, I might have just seen my friend, who I used to work with, in the crowd. Can they get a goal in Newport? Of course he was going to go, wasn't he? So, I'm going to have a look at the stats in a second, and we'll talk you through them on how the game's gone. But Ryan Haynes is up for the corner here. He's going to take it. You've got Sheehan and Bennett and Taylor in the box. Is there going to be an opportunity to get a goal here? It's going to be Haynes who whips it in. Plays it towards the near post. Comes towards Labadie. Gets his head onto it. It's not properly cleared away by Morecambe. Desperation. And Carlos Mendes Gomez. It has got the ball back. And now there's a chance to counter-attack. And there could be a good opportunity here. There's a marauding run forward, I believe, by the substitute, Brad Lyons. Here's Lyons on the ball now. Morecambe trying to do what Newport couldn't and get the ball in the back of the net. As Slender Cannon says, it's 10:39 in Mexico. Is that in the morning or night? I'd assume it's probably night time there. 10:30 in Indonesia as well. The dedication from you guys to be here for the game. Fair play to you. Fair play. Honestly, round of applause, because you certainly do get up late. As Ian Greenwood's in the building. Oh, you all good, mate? He says, hey, Josh, come on, you shrimps. And they're coming forward now. Here's Cooney. There's a part of me that would love to see Ryan Cooney score, so Liam in the chat can go mental. I said, oh, honestly, I've lost my track of words. That's the heat getting to me. Here is Cooney. Ryan Cooney, not Liam. Of course, Liam's watching on. Lovely bit of skill there from Cooney, and he's actually going to get a free kick out of it just past the halfway line. And maybe an opportunity here for Morecambe, who've made one change, of course. Brought on Brad Lyons not too long ago. But I would have actually thought they would have made a few more changes in this game and brought on maybe 2 or 3, as we've seen Newport do. But they haven't. And we'll have to see whether or not they're just holding on and maybe waiting to see if they've got extra time or penalties to maybe bring some players on. But Liam's in the chat. He's put, come on, Cooney. There's a part of me that just wants to see Cooney score now. Free kick's taken. Comes towards Carlos Mendes Gomez on the wing. Plays the ball into the box, and it's cleared away by the Newport defence and out for a corner. And now it's the turn for the Shrimp fans to start applauding and cheering and pushing the Morecambe side towards victory. As Daniel DeRio says, thank you for commentating the game. Couldn't find a stream anyway. You're very welcome, Daniel. Who is playing a little better. I would say Newport have played better in the last 10 or so minutes. But Morecambe have got a good corner here, and there might be an opportunity for Aaron Wildig to put a good cross into the box and completely change the complexion of this tie. But it's becoming more end-to-end, as you would expect. So Wildig, with the cross into the box, comes towards the near post, and there was a header in the end. And it was by the captain, Lavelle, but he just couldn't get the accuracy on the ball, and it was a kind of a diving header in the end. It was a powerful header from Lavelle, but it was way too high and wide. But here is the man of the moment. He's coming on. It's Kevin Ellison. The 42-year-old is about to come on in what would be the most dramatic playoff final opportunity for anybody to score I think there's been in years. He was a Morecambe player for 7 years, has history with Derek Adams. Now pretty much despises him. And he said at the beginning of the game, it's not about him tonight, but if he could score against Morecambe, it would mean everything for him. As Tubbs has said, it seems like a very balanced game between the two teams. Yeah, I'd say it's a balanced game. Newport with little better opportunities, but there's not much in it. As Carlos Mendes Gomez has got his feet all wrong. Good defending by Taylor, who gets it back from Wilson for Morecambe, but the ball's been given away to Newport, and there might be a chance here for them to break forward. Here's Sheehan on the ball. What can he do here? As the Newport players press forward. Labadie. Into Collins on the wing. Ball into the box. Comes towards the path of Nicky Maynard, who can't get a shot on... well, a header on target at the very least. And a chance goes wide of the mark. I'm just going to put my feet back in again. Apologies. Here come Newport again. It's Ryan Haynes on the left wing. He's got numbers close to him. Plays it into Sheehan. There's calls from Labadie to give the ball to him. He doesn't see it. Sheehan's going on his own here. He's inside the box on the left wing. Sheehan's still going. Does a little bit too much. And in the end, it's good defending from Knight Percival, who clears the ball away. And Newport will come back again. 6 minutes left on the clock here. And this is where I can't catch a break on commentary. Here's Ryan Haynes. Lobs the ball into the box. Comes towards Nicky Maynard. Doesn't get a header on it. Plays it to Collins. Now into Labadie. Back to Collins again, who's onside. Lobs the ball into the box. Comes towards Taylor, and he can't get a touch. And Carlos Mendes goes down. Free kick, and with 5 minutes bang on left on the clock. Maybe a chance now for Morecambe to take a breather. And a chance for Kevin Ellison to come on and maybe produce one of the most dramatic EFL playoff stories in recent years. Nearly a decade at Morecambe. And Derek Adams walks past him. And Kevin Ellison with a little grin on his face, a little smile on his face, because he knows that this could be the occasion to put his name in Newport folklore. And it'd be Lewis Collins who comes off. And, well, I mean, this would be incredible, wouldn't it? Former boss. He's literally stood right next to him. And, well, imagine now. 5 minutes to go with no goal. Wow, it's pressure, isn't it? As Lee Judges, as he's formerly known by everyone, as Lewis said, comes on. But there could be a chance! But it's offside. And out of absolutely nowhere, Aaron Wildig had completely walked through the Newport defence. But it turned out, in the end, the flag was actually already up. And it was a handball, I think, that they'd given in the end there on Aaron Wildig. I thought Aaron Wildig had got the chance there to win it. Out of absolutely nothing. It was just Newport switching off, but it wasn't. And it'll be Newport here on the attack now, trying to press forward. Here's Mickey Dimitru. He'll be hoping it's not second time unlucky in the playoff final. Was there last time, as we said, against Tranmere. Played into extra time that game. They will want to make sure here we don't have that same situation again. Here's Ryan Haynes trying to play the ball forward. Good work from Cooney. Ryan v. Ryan. And Cooney there does very well to get the throw in for Newport as time begins to run out. As Raphael says he thinks it'll be extra time and Morecambe score a last minute goal. Exactly what happened against Newport a few years ago. They'll not want that to happen again, but we're going to have the throw in here and it's going to be Mickey Dimitriou who takes the throw in. And we know they can be dangerous when it comes to long throw-ins, but they're going to take it short. Here's Haynes on the ball, lofted into the box. Comes towards the path of Nicky Maynard. It doesn't get to him. And the ball eventually lands at the feet of Carlos Mendes Gomez, who's got runners. But the Spaniard just can't get across into anyone. And the ball finds itself stuck in Morecambe's defensive half. Who's going to be the one to do it? Is there going to be a hero on the pitch in this game? Or will we be seeing half an hour of extra time? Which I wouldn't mind. But also a last minute winner in a playoff final. You just can't beat it, can you? But who's going to get it? If there is one. Right now, I would probably say for those of you that can't watch the game, Newport look the most likely of the two sides to get the opportunity to win the game. And when you actually look at the stats, Newport have had 16 shots, 4 on target, to Morecambe's 9 and 1 shot. And they will get a free kick here, Newport. Probably, I would say, about 35 yards out at the halfway line. As Raphael's asked how many added minutes. We've got about 1 minute and 40 seconds before that comes up on the screen. An MEFC talk, channel shout out. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe we can shout it out in the near future. But I'll tell you what, if you want to see the United content, then do check out MEFC talk. I will have a look and see at your channel at the end of this stream. I will have a glance. But this could be an opportunity This is in range. It is probably, I would say, roundabout in a position where Sheehan could take this on. And the whole of Wembley has been silenced because Sheehan and Dimitri are the ones standing over it. And it looks like Sheehan's going to take it. Play to Sheehan, goes for the long-range effort, and well, it was all primed and set up to look like we were going to get a screamer, but in the end, his shot was hit with way too much power, and it was probably about 35 yards out, and when you've got so much power on it and no dip, as you'd expect, it goes all the way up and out of play for a goal kick, and probably out of Wembley. Cal says, do you like these playoffs, or would you prefer third place went up with first and second? Nah, I like the playoffs. I always think the playoffs are better than having 3 teams go straight up. I really think the playoffs are some of the best things about the EFL. You know, as a neutral, if your team's not in it, it's not bad. You get to enjoy it and you get to watch it on the sidelines. If your team's in it, it's nail-biting, but it's bloody fun. So I always think the playoffs are the best way to go because it brings added drama and it extends the season out as well, doesn't it? But Morecambe now, we're into the 19th minute. There's going to be a total of 5 minutes of additional time. Are we going to see a hero in the League Two Playoff Final? It's been a game with plenty of opportunities, but hasn't had a goal. And surely now, with 4 minutes left, we're either going to need a hero or 30 minutes awaits. Here's Taylor. Going to play the ball into Shepherd. Now into Sheehan, who had that opportunity a few moments ago on the free kick. Here's Mickey Dimitriou as the centre-backs are pushing forward now. For Newport, ball was fed towards the path of Taylor, but the pass is just a little bit too heavy and the ball goes into the hands of Lefferen. As Tubbs has said, playoffs gives us added drama. Exactly. So much fun as well. You get the opportunity to go to Wembley, which is even better. Not many teams get to do that, which is why it's always so exciting when teams do get to go to Wembley. It's an experience and a half if you make the final. 4 minutes left, though. Tom King going to play the ball out. Plays it into Josh Sheehan. And the way that Newport are pressing forward, it is literally a case the ball's being played out to the defence. All the players are pushing up the pitch. There isn't really many players back, which I think Morecambe should expose a little bit more, take a punt, maybe put 1 or 2 players up, but they don't want to risk it. As Taylor's gone down, and we've got another free kick here for Newport in a potentially perilous position for Morecambe. It's a little bit closer to the goal this time, and it is in the middle. And you just feel here that if they can get this up the wall and dipping in, then there could be a real good opportunity for Newport to win this here. Sean Evans saying, do you think Northampton would go up to League One or stay in League Two next season? Ooh. I think they'll probably... I don't really know much about Northampton, to be honest, to say whether they would. And if I'm being honest. And then Arnav says, I personally feel that third team should go up instead of the playoffs because you're not rewarding the hard work teams putting mums together. Which is very true, very true. I think there's 2 sides to the coin, isn't there, really? I guess. But free kick here for Newport. I don't think Josh Sheehan will be taking this one this time. Mickey Dimitriou is stood over it. And with 2 minutes and a half left, could this be the moment to win the game? Ball's lofted in. And it's a good save from Lefferen. And it was a really good free kick in the end by Taylor. As I said before, he gets it up and over the wall. It dips perfectly. He's going into the bottom left-hand corner. And Lefferen, brilliant dive, gets his fingertips onto the ball. And Lefferen doesn't want to gamble on the fact that the ball will make the back of the net. But he gets a good touch on the ball, and we've got a corner here for Newport as the fans, with 2 minutes left, tried to push the side for a goal. Corner's lobbed into the box, comes towards no one, and in the end, it's been given as a foul on Morecambe. And I think, with 2 minutes left here, we might be on course for an extra half an hour, and maybe even some penalties while we're at it. As MEFC Talk says, I'm 14 years old and I'm on YouTube. Is that good? Yeah, I would say, to be honest with you, the way that YouTube is these days, as long as you're putting out reasonable content, I think any age these days puts out content. There'll be, people of your age that will have popular YouTube channels doing different stuff. So I would say, yeah, I think that's fine. When you look at it these days, there's a lot of young, popular YouTubers that have made a living from YouTube, and fair play to them. You know, they've done an incredible job getting themselves out there on YouTube and things like that. But ball's hit long towards the path of Mendes Gomez, who's kind of occupying a little bit of a striker position right now, but he's flagged as offside. And with a minute left on the clock, this might be the final chance of the game for Newport to come forward. Can they get a goal at the end of this game, or will extra time be looming? Haynes plays the ball into Dimitriou on the left wing, tries to flick a ball into the box. It will be a throw-in for Newport. Will they go for the long throw-in as we enter the last 45 seconds? And the Newport fans trying their hardest to rally their side to victory. Ball's going to be played short. Played into Labadie. Then to Sheehan, who's lobbed the ball into the box. It doesn't find anyone there. And eventually, it's cleared away by Morecambe. Cole Stockton heads the ball down. It comes towards Mendes Gomez, who hits it with his hand. But the referee's not called anything for it. And he plays the advantage as Newport push forward with 10 seconds left. Is there time for one more opportunity? Or will the Bobby Madley blow? And I think it looks like we're going to be going to extra time. And we will be going to extra time. And it's a stalemate in the sunshine of Wembley. And it means we will be going to extra time in this fixture between Morecambe and Newport. And I've got to say, Newport County, time and time again, they had lots of opportunities in this game to go out there and get themselves a goal. Morecambe had their fair share of chances as well. But in the end, I do think that, unfortunately, they just weren't able to go out there and get a goal. And we will be having an extra half an hour of action to come up in a few moments' time. And look, I think it was a very alright game. I think there were a few chances for both teams. Newport, arguably, the better of the two chances in comparison to Morecambe. But I wonder if that half an hour will give Derek Adams a good opportunity to rally the team together and to really focus on the fact that they need to do something and quick in this game if they want to get something in this match. Because the pressure that Newport have been putting on over the last kind of 15 or 20 minutes has been so relentless that I do feel like if Morecambe can come out and attack, it might put Newport under some pressure. And it might make it a little bit more of an open game because I don't think Newport have really been tested at the back. It's allowed the likes of Mickey Dimitriou to push up the pitch, knowing that most of the time Morecambe have been stuck in their own half, and the likes of Cole Stockton and Mendes Gomez have been defended and kept quiet so well in the game that realistically I think there needs to be something that changes soon if Morecambe want to get back into this match. But we get another half an hour. You get me for another 30 minutes, and hopefully we get another good 30 minutes of action in the warm weather at Wembley. It does give me an opportunity, though, while we're at the break, to say if you are new to the stream, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. It is massively, massively appreciated for those of you that have left a sub already. If you haven't left a sub, we've got loads more content to come on the channel over the next few weeks. We've got A-League action with Rowan. We've got the F1 as well. And then, of course, we will also have the Euros, which we'll be covering for a large part of the summer. So this is all the content. We've got extra time coming up in a few minutes' time, so do not go anywhere. The game is continuing on in the League Two playoffs. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix with Rowan is on the 6th of June from 10 to 1. You can join Rowan for that, for all the action there with the F1. And then the Euros start. Turkey-Italy is our first game, the opening match of the tournament from 7:55 on the 11th of July. We've got Wales-Switzerland. That's the second game of the tournament. You can join Kale for that. What a game that should be. Really tough Group A is. It's a tricky one, isn't it? That's for sure. And then England-Croatia. It might not just be me. It might be the whole Sports Corner team as well. 5-2 for that match on the 13th of June. Should be an absolute belter of a game and a belter of a tournament as the teams are all out and ready to get underway with the second half in just a moment's time. There is going to be a change. Aaron Wildig is coming off the pitch. I think he's actually picked up an injury as the game's ended, which is a real shame for him. You don't want to be coming off at this stage of the match, which means substitution is going to be made here, and we'll see who comes on in just a moment's time. But Jay asked me in the chat, what was your prediction for the match initially? I said 3-2. I said 2-2, extra time, Newport win it late on. So technically, my goal score prediction was wrong. but the prediction for extra time is right. So we'll have to see or not whether we get the late goal or not. But we're going to see that change. Wildig comes on courtesy of the injury. He's literally just picked up as the game's ended, which is a real shame for him. And onto the pitch comes the number 16, which I believe is John O'Sullivan. And I'll tell you what, half an hour under his belt in the playoff final with the chance at penalties, he'll surely be feeling confident in himself that he can go out there and maybe be the hero in this game. Although saying that, I do think that's a shame because Aaron Wildig did have a few decent opportunities to go out there and be the bright spark in the second half for Morecambe. But despite the occasion, despite the nerves, despite the moments we've had in the game, we're going to need another. No. My apologies. I booted my camera off. I've frozen. Give me 2 seconds. I accidentally knocked my wire. Let me just turn that off. But we're now underway, or about to be underway, with the second half of action. Let's get the camera on. There we go. We're all back. Apologies about that. I accidentally knocked the wires there. I tell you, I'm in a really tight spot right now. I've got my chair, and then literally where the camera is, I've got about that much space. So all the wires are next to me. So we're all good now. Back underway with the action. As Daniel says, who has the better goalkeeper in case of penalties? Well, Tom King, I believe, has previous experience in playoff semi-final penalties. So technically speaking, he has the experience. I don't really know much about Leffram when it comes to penalties to know whether he'd be the better player or not. But we'll have to see. As we do reach extra time. And we are underway with the second half of action. As Hall asked, is this guy Morecambe fan? Honestly, mate, I'm just a neutral. I'm just a neutral watching this game. Just enjoying it right now. And hopefully we get a good half an hour. As we are going to get a free kick here. And a chance to crack open another can. I'm going to need it because it's bloody warm here in the UK today. But yeah, I would say I'm a neutral. Backing Newport because I've got a few friends that... I've lost my train of thought. I've got a few friends, sorry, that are fans of Newport. That's what I wanted to say. So I think I actually saw him in the crowd a few moments ago. So I'm back in Newport, but I'm watching it as a neutral, and I'm being very, very fair on both teams. I think they both played all right. I just wonder if Morecambe here will go out a little bit more attacking. Hall's asked who do I support? I support Rotherham United. As balls lofted long. Trying to get it towards Carlos Mendes Gomez. Not the best clearance away from the Newport defence. And Kevin Ellison, the 42-year-old, is able to come back and get himself the ball and try and push Newport up the field here. I wonder how both teams will go in the next 30 minutes. Will they stay preserved and calm, or will they see this as an opportunity to push forward? Here's O'Sullivan, the substitute, on the wing. Taking the game to hands, doing very well. Ball lofted into the box. Comes towards Stockton, and in the end, it's just a little bit too high and wide. And a good chance for the top scorer for Morecambe this season, 15 goals. Was a good effort. But in the end, Cole Stockton, the header, just not really too close to goal. As Hall says. I mean, that's very true. Rotherham Morecambe would be a good day out for you. It's only an hour away. That's very true. That's very true. I've got a good affiliation with Newport. I've got good friends with Newport fans. So I used to work as well with a Newport fan. So we used to watch the games. But Jake, I mean, fair point. I want Morecambe win just for the sake of Lancashire. I mean, it'd be a bad weekend, wouldn't it, for Welsh football? If Swansea and Newport were to lose. To be a really poor weekend of playoff action for Welsh football. But 2 minutes and a half on the clock here in this first half of extra time. Who is going to be the hero? Can somebody turn up as Kevin Ellison gets the ball? Going to play it into the midfield to the path of Collins. We've got Hartigan on the pitch as well now. I forgot to say. Here's Hartigan. Plays the ball to Shepherd. Now into Mickey Dimitriou. And Tubbs has said, do you see Rotherham going back to the Championship next season? I personally don't. I think we'll get the playoffs and lose in the semi-finals. We'll probably get someone like, I don't know, Charlton or something. I just think the way that League One is right now, and the way it's going to be next season, there's too many good clubs in there that are better than us. Or going to be better than us. You know, as I said, when you go through the list of clubs in League One next season, you've got Sunderland, Wednesday, Wickham, ourselves, Charlton, Ipswich, Oxford, Lincoln. It could be an incredible season. It really could be. So many teams down there that'll be thinking about going up. Could be a chance here, though, for Newport. Nicky Maynard on the right wing at the edge of the box, finding himself in a right scrap with Knight Percival, who comes out on top. Here's Carlos Mendes-Gomez. Not really done much, has he, in this last 20 minutes or so, but I guess Morecambe keeping calm and preserved. Hall saying he wants it to go to a penalty shootout. I always love watching a penalty shootout when you're neutral. Very true. Penalties are always the best. I think when you get to extra time, you just want penalties. As a neutral, not as a fan. You want to win the game and get it over and done with. But as a fan, you want to see penalties. I mean, we watched the Europa League final in a bar at the midweek, and that penalty shootout was unbelievable. Made up for the game, that's for sure. Completely made up for the game. But Halson, I'm a Cheltenham fan. Can't wait to play Sunderland. The atmosphere is going to be immense. Honestly, fair play to you, lad. Congratulations on winning the league. But yeah, I think everybody, the instant minute you go down into League One, I did think in my head, the Stadium of Light, a trip there is always nice. And we've had a few in the past. We had one in the Championship when they were there. But yeah, the Stadium of Light is always a good place to go, isn't it, for an away day. Always a fun one. I'm looking forward to Plymouth as well next season. I think Plymouth Argyle's always an interesting one, just for how they play. Very attacking side. But Tubbs saying, come on, Ellison goal, and shout back at Derek Adams again. I wonder if he would. I wonder what he would be thinking in his head in terms of how to celebrate. Would he run to the corner flag, or would he just think, I've got to go straight to Derek Adams and celebrate in front of him, which would be great. If he was in the last minute, 100%, yeah, I'd do it. But then I'm a bit of a twat, so I probably would anyway. But Jake saying it's either going to be a last minute winner or go to pens, which regardless, either way is what we want. But we're going to have a foul here, and it's going to be Josh Labadie who goes into the book. Yellow card, foul there on Diagoraga. It goes down, right tackle, well, I'm saying right tackle, sorry, right decision in the end to give the yellow card. And Bobby Manley got the easy decision there with the yellow card. And there's some very tired legs out there now. We've got 10 minutes left of the first half of extra time, and just the way it is kind of panning out, I really do think that these two teams will be just praying and hoping that they can get themselves eventually into a position where they can go through, maybe take penalties and go all the way. But Stockton's got the ball here. Not going to be able to get it in the end, and it's cleared away by Newport, and the referee gets a free kick for Newport as well. It's going to be 2 seconds. Going to just quickly message someone. But yeah, the decision there for the ref again. I think the ref's played an alright game today. So, Liam saying in the chat, I asked Ryan how he would celebrate today if he scored, and he was saying he wouldn't have a clue. To be fair, I'd be the same. I would have absolutely no idea how to celebrate a goal. The thing is, for me, when it comes to football, I don't play it. I'm not good enough to play football. But genuinely, I think to myself, if I was to score a goal in a cup final or something, I would genuinely have no idea how to celebrate. Cal put in the chat, I have to disagree with you, Josh. That pen was dull. 21 pens and no saves, boring. Technically, there was a save. Rully saved what now? Jokes aside. Crazy game. Jamie saying, I'm a Man United fan. I can't believe we lose and we need to put a new keeper in. Crazy. The thing for me with that penalty shootout is the way that David De Gea walked up to the spot. I did not feel confident in any way, shape or form with his penalty. Like, really stepped up, looked really calm, comfortable, smashed it, and I'm thinking, yeah, brilliant, quality penalty. With David De Gea's, he took like a moment to stop, didn't he, before he took the pen. I was like, oh dear. No, it was a bit of a worrying one, but I thought his penalty was good. It was just a decent save from Rully in the end. I didn't think it was a bad penalty whatsoever. Halsey, though, at home, it will be immensely packed because our ground is very compact. The noise that is generated is more than the Emirates. Hey, honestly, you'll have it bouncing next season when you do get fans back in. And then Hall said, to be honest, I think the Blackpool game was the best game out of the three. 100% agree with you on that one. I want Bromley to get promoted from the National League. That would be a new team in the Football League. And then he says, are you good enough to play football in the park? Probably even in the park. No, I'd say I'm still bad at that. I genuinely, when it comes to football, I like to watch it. But when it comes to playing it, I'm not good at it at all. I'm very bad. I like to let the professionals do it, I guess you could say. As Jake says, he went to the Blackpool game. Oh, man, that's awesome. Are you a Blackpool fan, Jake? Because if so, congratulations on going up, because it was a brilliant match to watch. Really, really good game. And then Tubbs saying, how about that dude who celebrated by taking his shorts off and wore it on his head? I mean, there was the guy at the Newcastle game at the FA Cup which pulled his trousers down and pulled his pants down. Don't know why, but I guess that was his first reaction. But looking at the stats, I mean, my lord. Morecambe, 10 attempts, 1 on target. Newport, 18 attempts, 5 on target. It's been a lively game for opportunities, but not lively enough in terms of chances. Here's Songo, though, into Carlos Mendes-Gomez, who's at the edge of the box, tries to take on his man. It's cleared away by Dimitriou. And it'll come back again to Morecambe. And we're starting to put the pressure on the away side. Here's Songo. Plays it into the path of Diagoraga. Got the ball. Just hasn't really got anybody next to him. Here's Cooney. Might be an opportunity for the ball to be lobbed into the box. And well, it is lobbed into the box. But there is no one there in the end to at least get a header onto the ball. And it's a real waste of an opportunity. As Harles asks, what position did I play as a kid? As a kid, I played in midfield. I always thought of myself, and I wasn't a Liverpool fan, but I always thought of myself in the Gerrard mould. But, well, that didn't turn out, did it? I'm definitely not Gerrard at all. But no, I used to play midfield. Midfield was my best position. I've got a little bit of pace about me, but I would probably say more of an attacker midfield. I didn't really like doing much defending, to be honest with you. But then again, not many people do. As Jake says, yeah, I can't wait. Honestly, mate, congratulations. Blackpool v Preston next season. Blumfield is always rocking. That's going to be a right game. You know when the Sky fixtures come out for what's on TV, that game has got to be picked for one. I was saying earlier, I was like, as much as I want Blackpool to go up and go back to the big time, I was also in the back of my head thinking, and I think most fans were the same, please don't go up, because then we get a away trip to Blackpool next season. And then it was, of course, you went up, and it's like, fair play to you guys. I'll be keeping my eye on you next season. I think the two teams I'll be keeping my eye on are Hull and Blackpool. I think, obviously, I've got Kieran L, who works on the channel. He's a Hull fan. And then, of course, I do like Blackpool. I think you're incredible this season. Well deserved. But, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get the Rotherham Blackpool away trip in the end. But maybe another time in the future. Maybe we'll both be in the Championship together at some point. But we're into the last 3 minutes of extra time. Not really many opportunities, I've got to say, in this first half. Both teams, you can tell the tiredness. A lot of reliance, I guess you could say, on the substitutes that have come onto the pitch. Specifically O'Sullivan for Morecambe. But we are going to have, I believe, a free kick here. And we're going to see what happens here. Just seeing Kevin Ellison. And no, it wasn't a free kick in the end. It was a goal kick. But Tubbs saying, you guys are making me jealous. Football here in the Philippines suck balls so bad. Hey, you've got to come down some point to England. We'll get to a game. And then Carl's put, only thing I would say about De Gea, didn't like he went up to every taker. Get back in goals and concentrate on saving them. But no way did he cost United the Europa League, in my opinion. Yeah, it was one of those where I think you can't blame the keeper, can you? It's one of those where I don't think anybody would have expected him to have had to go and take a penalty in the match. I think a lot of players were probably expecting to get ready to take a second one, but nah, fair play. It was one of those where it was a good game to watch. Well, penalty shootout was, at least for the neutral. James asked, when did the fixtures come out for football? I believe the fixtures come out mid-June. I think is what they said. I think it's around about the 17th of June. The Premier League one comes out, and then usually it's about a week or two. And then the league EFL fixtures come out. So it'll probably be around about the end of June when the league fixtures come out. And we'll have to see who faces who we've got. And it's always a good time of year, isn't it, when we see the fixture list. And then Carl's put in the chat. Oh, sorry, I've already seen Carl's. Hal said, if you can pass the ball with both feet, then you're not bad at football. But if you literally can't pass the ball, then I'll go by your assessment of yourself that you're bad at football. Will you be watching the National League Final after this? I need a break from football until the Euros. I don't think we'll be doing it live on the channel unless any of the guys want to. This is my last watch-along until the Euros. Because I did the darts on Friday and then a full weekend of watch-alongs. But if one of them wants to do the National League, then they are more than welcome to. Because there's not really else much going on the channel the next few days. But there's a chance here for Nicky Maynard. Ball played into the box and it was Kevin Ellison and he's missed it. Oh, and that was the chance. And it was Kevin Ellison, the 42-year-old. And it might have even been Josh Labadie who got the touch. But let's have a look. It was Nicky Maynard who crossed the ball into the box. And it actually came off. It came off Josh Labadie. It came off Josh Labadie. And so unlucky in the end. A real opportunity that just goes wide of the mark. And surely there, it was a chance. A real chance to get themselves a goal. And that was the biggest opportunity of the game. And I thought Ellison got the touch. They were both next to each other. And I was like, yes, Ellison. No. So unlucky. So unlucky. Matty saying Plymouth Argyle will love Rotherham next season. Of course, yeah. Ladapo back at the Theatre of Dreams. Theatre of Dreams. I said Theatre of Dreams then. It's not the Theatre of Dreams. Very looking forward to that next season. And then Jake saying, personally, I believe we have one of the best owners in the Football League. He was born here and cares about the club. Overall, many bad owners need to go and look at the model we have if possible. And yeah, I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Harlas, should he have scored? I would have said yeah. I think under that situation, he should have probably scored, in my opinion. Labadie got the touch, but the touch was awful. It sent it over, and I really do think all he's got to do there, get a little bit of a touch on the ball, and it's probably in the back of the net, but big opportunity there for Newport. Goes wide of the mark, and that is arguably the biggest chance we've had of the game, although there's a chance here again for Newport to hit on the break here. Ball's being lofted long, trying to get it towards Nicky Maynard, but the pass in the end is just a little bit too heavy. And it'll be, surely, half-time of extra time. As Nick's put in the chat, they're released on the 24th of June, the fixtures. Thank you very much, Nick. Looking forward to that. Less than a month to wait to find out who everybody faces. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't... I wouldn't say it was really massively an open goal, but from the position where he is, he has to score. Regardless of whether it's an open goal or not, you've just got to tuck that in the back of the net. And you can see from Labadie's reaction, he knows he's missed an absolute belter of an opportunity. And I think we're going to see that chance again from a different angle, which will probably give me a better idea of what it was. But he's in the middle of the box. And for me there, yeah, he's got to score. He has to score. From the position that he is, all he's got to do is tuck the ball into the bottom right-hand corner. And I don't know whether it's the fact that Leffren is right in front of him and it puts him off slightly. But I would have said there, yeah, he's probably got to put the ball in the back of the net. And he knows that that's an opportunity where he could have won the game potentially for Newport. And he's just got to get himself back onto that pitch now in a few moments and try and somehow get himself sorted out. Because if not, we are 15 minutes away from penalties, which is kind of, I think, what we all want at this stage. Unless you are a Morecambe or a Newport fan, you want to probably get a late goal here and win the match. But Sean has said in the chat, does anyone remember when Edgar Davids was in charge at Barnet? I was at their last game versus Northampton. Luckily, we won 2-0. Was also at the game when Alex Nichols broke his leg. Absolutely shocking. I remember when he was there. I remember when he was playing for a little bit as well. It's mad, isn't it? Who would have thought Edgar Davids at Barnet? Never thought that had happened before. And then Carl saying, I hope Man City get Chelsea. First game of the season. And then Tubbs saying Labadie didn't expect Ellison to miss the touch. Well, that's the problem. Any instinctive striker in that position has got to get themselves prepared for the fact that the ball's going to come in. And obviously, I know League Two level, it's not going to be as instinctive and high quality. But any striker has got to be prepared for the ball to come out to them. And that's not me discrediting it, but I really do think in that situation he's got to score. Or at least, well, I'm saying get it on target. He kind of did, didn't he? But for me, he's got to score. He has to score there. But we are going to change for Cheltenham as we do get into the final half. Liam Gibson coming off. Kelvin Mellor on the pitch. Hall saying, did I watch Cheltenham versus City? Yes, I did. It was a very good game, that. Cheltenham played incredibly well in that game. I thought it was a shame when you conceded a few goals at the end. But 15 minutes remain here. And that is the difference between potential League One promotion and another season in League Two, are we going to be in a position where we find ourselves in a penalty shootout? Or are we going to see a winner in this game? We'll have to see whether or not we do. But Bobby Madley blows his whistle, and we are off for the second half of extra time. And I mean, yeah, actually, you're very true. Labadie's a midfielder. Fair point. I didn't actually think of that, but I guess maybe instinctive-wise, if he was like Nicky Maynard there, then you'd just have your foot out ready for it, I guess. But maybe that's just being harsh. Or critical is probably the best word to put it. As seeing what you guys have been saying, Tim thinks he's going to go to penalties. And then Hall says, couldn't believe we were 9 minutes away from winning it, as there could be a shout for a penalty, and it is a penalty for Morecambe, and 35 seconds on the clock. Bobby Madley points to the spot, penalty for Morecambe, and what a decision this could be at the late embers of this game, and it was O'Sullivan that went down, a big decision by Bobby Madley, but I think it's a right one. And it's O'Sullivan who runs into the box, and the question is whether the tackle was outside the box or inside the box. It's a tough one to do, and if VAR was in play here, we could have obviously seen whether or not that was outside the box or not. But I think it's a really, really tough one to decide whether you're giving that as a penalty outside the box or not a penalty. But a big moment in the game here, because Carlos Mendes-Gomez, the man who's had a career and a half already, the Spaniard at Morecambe, to break through, puts the ball in the back of the net, and the Spaniard might be about to send Morecambe into delirium because they're 14 minutes away from League One. And what a goal, well, I say what a goal, what an opportunity it could be here for Morecambe to go to League One. And it was a clumsy tackle. Whether or not you would say it's a penalty or not, I don't know. But what an opportunity now for Morecambe. They take the lead in this game. And now the pressure's going to be on Newport County, because it's 1-0 to Morecambe. And Carlos Mendes-Gomez puts the penalty home. And it's a clinical finish in the end. And it's under some severe pressure. Let's not forget. He puts the ball into the bottom right-hand... Well, I'm saying bottom right-hand corner. He puts it into the right-hand corner. Tom King's already gone to the left-hand side. He's beaten. And it's a brilliant penalty from the Spaniard. And they are now 13 minutes away from delirium as the Morecambe fans celebrate in the sunshine of Wembley. But will it end with a 1-0 lead? Or have we got more drama to come? We'll have to find out. As Chris Lamb says, there'll be more goals and each will go for it. We will have to see, as we are about to get underway with the rest of the game. And it's a brilliant goal. And you can see the reaction from Carlos Mendes-Gomez, as of course he will probably get booked, I think, for taking his shirt off. But he's now the top scorer. And 16 goals to his name. Could Derek Adams be about to take Morecambe up? They were being punted at certain points to be down for relegation. But now, does that chance from Josh Slabadie prove fatal? And I mean, it's such a big call to make, isn't it, with the penalty? We're seeing it. I personally think, at the end of the day, it is one of those where it's very, very hard to tell whether you would have given that as a penalty or not. I mean, the commentary, Lee Hendry thinks it's a dive in the end. There was a little bit of connection, but he thinks he made a meal of it and it was outside the box and not a penalty. But I guess it's down to your own interpretation of whether you feel it's a penalty or not. But looking at what you've been all saying in the chat, everyone's saying, of course, lots of Morecambe fans celebrating right now. I don't think Mendes actually got the yellow card for taking his shirt off. Oh, no, he did get the card. It's just come up now. So, yeah, yellow card for Mendes-Gomez for taking the shirt off. But Liam Cooney saying, come on, the Shrimps. Your cousin is only a few minutes away, maybe, from becoming a League One player, my friend. And then Slender Cannon saying, let's go, Morecambe. I think, personally, I don't want to sit here and say it wasn't a penalty, but it is a very interesting call to whether somebody or whether other refs would have given that as a penalty or not. But if you're a Morecambe fan, you don't really care. It doesn't matter how the penalty comes. It's just all about getting the goal, putting it in the back of the net, and getting yourself that all-important lead, because it's now Morecambe who, for large parts of this game, for the last, probably hour or so, have had their fair share of opportunities to go and win this match. They haven't taken them, and now they're going to be under some pressure to go out there and try and get the winning, or at least an equaliser in this game. They've got one change they can make, by the way, I think, Newport. Joe Ledley's on the bench if they need him. But there's going to be a free kick here. And it's going to be a free kick for Newport County in their own half. As Jamie says, read his comment. Which comment am I reading? Is it the one about Kyle, or is it the one above? You'll have to tell me in the chat which one it is, Jamie, because you've directed it at Kyle. But there's going to be a change here for Newport. Last change that they can make on the board. And it's going to be Ryan Hayes coming off. And Farquharson comes onto the pitch. Can Farquharson be the hero here, as there's a free kick for Newport? Lobbed into the box. Header comes down. And it's saved by Leffrin in the end. And it's a comfortable save as he holds the ball. And now every second will slowly tick down for Morecambe. And the fans in the stadium will feel like this next 10 minutes is probably the longest 10 minutes of their lives. And we're just seeing some of the Newport fans now. Absolutely good. They've been here before. They've been in this similar situation where they conceded late on and lost. And they're seeing it again. As Jamie said to read the one which he sent to Kyle. You're not Man United fans, so do not know what it feels like this season. We have not been good, not winning anything. And we need things to change. De Gea not to save. 2016. I don't know what's going on. I'll let you guys fight in the chat. John Sullivan gets a yellow card for Morecambe. And it's going to be a free kick for Newport. Tom King telling everybody to push up the pitch now. And he's going to hoof the ball along. Mickey Dimitriou coming up the pitch as well. So it's got to be a good kick from Tom King because everybody's up. As Liam Cooney says, love Morecambe, but bit of a robbery if they win. I don't think you'll care, though, if Morecambe do come out with it. It's all about the pressure, isn't it, on the last day. But there's an effort taken on here. Powerful effort taken on in the end by, I think it was Hartigan. Ellison going to try and whip a ball into the box. He's stopped by O'Sullivan. And a throw-in for Newport. And it's going to be a long throw-in. And it needs to be a good one. As it's a hands-on head moment for probably every Newport fan in the stadium. Dimitriou throws the ball into the box. Comes out to the edge of the box. And, well, it was a chance taken on by Hartigan on the volley. And it's a real waste of an effort. As Michael Flynn, he's thrown everything at this game now. They've got no substitutions left. Everybody on the pitch is what's left to play. And our Newport about to face disappointment again. As Morecambe are going to make another change of their own here. I think they've got 2 more changes they can make in this match. And we'll see who comes on in a second. As Morecambe have the goal kick. With about 7 minutes left of the game. They're happy, of course, the Morecambe fans. That time is slowly ticking down. And, of course, we'll see that change now as well. So, Alex Kenyon coming on to the pitch. And coming off the pitch will be Carlos Mendes Gomez, the goal scorer. And what a moment in his career as a Morecambe player. The top scorer this season for the club. The Spaniard, the former Atletico Madrid B-man, might have just found himself the winning goal for Morecambe. Depending on the next 6 minutes. And, well, there's not too much to shout about in goal in terms of the actual game itself. But at the most important time in the match, he turned up and put the ball into the back of the net in style. But 6 minutes left here. Are Newport going to have any late moments in this game? Will Morecambe get a second? Who knows? As Kenyon is on the pitch. And we get back underway with the action. Ball headed by Collins. Comes towards the path of Nicky Maynard. Headed by Labadie. Cleared away by Morecambe. And you can see the Morecambe players all applauding and giving big hugs out to Carlos Mendes Gomez. As Chris says, the Shrimps will be playing those Codheads next season. Could be playing the Mighty Millers as well. We'll have to see. Well, here come Newport. Ball lofted long towards Kevin Ellison. Brilliant touch on the left wing. Tries to ping a ball into the box and it's blocked. And it will be a corner. And Kevin Ellison, or Lee Judges as he's known by many people, he's calling for a penalty for a handball. And just seeing it now, well, no, it's not a handball. And there's not much he could do anyway, regardless of Knight Percival's positioning, because he was so close. But there's going to be a corner here, and it's going to be Josh Sheehan who takes it. Can they make something from the set piece? It's into the box. It comes down, and in the end, it's a header from, I think it was Scott Bennett. And it rolls out of play for a goal kick. And surely now, Michael Flynn will be looking back at this game thinking, where were the moments in this game which cost us? Obviously, the Labadie chance was one of them. And we're literally just seeing it again now. That is the one chance in the game where he should have scored. I don't care if you're a midfielder, you should have scored that. And then we're seeing the penalty again. So calm and so comfortable from Mendes Gomez. You know, when you've got so many thousand fans in the stadium, in that key moment, could be the difference maker. As Newport get a free kick here in their own half. The sense of urgency increasing for the away side as Tom King rushes out of his goal to put the ball on the floor and hoof this ball up long. And Tom King will... Well, was actually going to take it short, but he doesn't. A slender cannon. He wants the game done. He's got 4 minutes left. It'll be the longest 4 minutes of your life, my friend. Ball lofted into the box. Doesn't get to anyone. And now there's a chance here for Cole Stockton. He's going to be 1 versus 1. Tries to escape Bennett. He can't escape him. And in the end, Stockton will just waste time. Eventually, lofts the ball. And Dimitri gets it back. And a chance there maybe for Stockton to kill the game off. He wasn't able to. And I think there Cole Stockton to be a little bit disappointed that he had maybe his mind thinking too many decisions of what to do. As Newport come forward again. Maynard with a ball. Very heavy touch from Josh Labadie. And it goes out of play for a goal kick. And I think if it hadn't anyway, it would have been given as a free kick to Morecambe. As Chris Lamb says he's pleased. The Tangerine went up. They're a good club and deserve it. And apparently Man United have signed Tom Heaton. Is that now official as well? Have they just announced that? But when you actually look at the game overall, I think if you're a Morecambe fan, you'll probably be thinking to yourself, look, we didn't play great today, but it doesn't matter. It's not about playing fancy football. It's not about being stylish and creative. It's just about getting over the line in the final. And whether you get over the line because of a penalty or a last-minute winner, doesn't really matter how you do it. You just want to get over the line, get the goal, and get promoted. And I think exactly as a Morecambe fan, I think a lot of people will be disappointed for the Newport fans because they played very well today but didn't get anything out of it. But honestly, mate, for anybody in the chat, I think both teams have... I think it's been an alright game. Both teams... I think maybe Morecambe played to the game plan, I would say. As Matt says, as an Argyle fan, not neutral, as loads of ex-Argyle plays in both camps, and an ex-Argyle manager. Yeah, you've got it worse today, haven't you? Argyle players and managers left, right and centre in this game. Honestly, it's mad. As Liam Cooney says, a win is a win. Come on the Shrimps. As we get to the final minute and 30 seconds. Is there one last twist in the tail in this League Two Playoff Final? Can Newport get a goal at the end of this game and take us to penalties? Can Morecambe get a second and drop a dagger into the hearts of Newport fans? Or is there one last chance? Ball plays forward by Newport. Everyone's in the box. It comes towards Kevin Ellison, who takes on his man. He's on the left wing, outside the box. He's got really nobody near him. What can Kevin Ellison do? The answer is not much. It goes out of play for a throw-in, but it could be an opportunity here with Mickey Dimitriou's long throw-ins. And he needs it to be a big throw-in. With 55 seconds left of the clock, he needs this to be the best throw-in of his life. And he lofts it into the box, towards the near post. He comes into the box. Kevin Ellison goes for the acrobatics. He goes down. And that might have been the chance. But the ball will come back to Newport yet again. With 35 seconds left. And it'll be Tom King out of the box, who's going to hoof it up. And he needs to hoof it up quick. 30 seconds left on the clock of this game. He hoofs it up the pitch. And eventually, The referee gives a free kick for a foul to Morecambe. And surely now that will be it for Morecambe, who've got about 10 seconds left of the game to hold on. And I think we are going to have a little break here. A yellow card comes out for one of the Newport players for, I think, a few words that were said to the referee. But it looks surely now that Morecambe are going to be taking this game, as we go into 3 minutes of additional time. As Mickey Dimitri goes into the book, I think he was the player that had been talking to the referee. 3 minutes left. Well, well, well. I didn't think we'd get a great deal of additional time, but of course, because of the goal, I forgot we get a little bit of added time on. What's going to happen? Carlos Mendes Gomez praying that this game ends 1-0. Is there maybe one more opportunity in this game? We'll have to see. A big thank you to all of you, by the way, for joining the stream today. If you are new to the stream and you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. We are covering the Euros for pretty much 90% of the tournament. So if you do want to stick around with us and watch more of our football live streams, then come and join us on the channel. We've got a lovely community. Lovely community. And it'd be fantastic to have more of you involved ahead of the Euros. As Tom King's got the ball, there's 2 minutes left on the clock here. He's going to have to get this ball up the pitch and fast. Tom King hoofs it long. Going to try and get it onto the right-hand side. It's Hartigan who gets the ball. It's cleared away, though, by Knight Percival. Anywhere will do for Morecambe, with a minute and a half left. Here's Hartigan, who just hoofs the ball long. Comes towards Kevin Ellison. Doesn't get the touch in the end. There's apparently a few players calling for a foul for the Morecambe team. Referee doesn't give it. Bobby Madley. Play continues on for Newport. Could be an opportunity as Hartigan feeds the ball into the box. There's shouts for a penalty. There's shouts for a penalty. Is he going to give it? And it's a corner. I thought he was giving a penalty then, Bobby Madley. He stopped for a second and it looked like he was going to give a penalty to him, but he hasn't, and it's a corner for Newport. And why Bobby Madley's done that, I don't know. And I think there's going to be a challenge, which he's given a yellow card for, but a decision's a corner. Interesting. So Tom King, the goalkeeper's coming up for the final minute. Remember, he did score a goal this season. Ball's lofted into the box. It comes towards Tom King. He doesn't get it. Comes out to Josh Labadie. Tries to head the ball in, and it's cleared away. And now there's chaos, as it's a potential chance for Morecambe to score. Labadie gets the ball away. It's Tom King who's going to have to run up against these Morecambe players. And in the end, with 35 seconds left on the clock, Tom King's got the throw in, which he's going to have to take. So King takes the throw on the right wing. And it looks like he's going to give a foul to Morecambe. And yes, a foul's given after Labadie fouls. I think it was Knight Percival. And surely now that's it for Morecambe with 20 seconds left on the clock. As Slender saying, you're a good commentator. Thank you very much indeed. I try my hardest. And with 8 seconds left, Derek Adams is on the touchline. And I thought for a second we might get a little bit of late drama. But it's going to be Lefferen who takes the free kick. He hoofs it up the pitch. Bobby Madley has the whistle in his hand, and the whistle is blown, and Morecambe, the Shrimps, are going up. Oh wait, the game's not over. The game's not over. The game's not over yet. Bobby Madley hasn't blown his whistle. The game continues on, and the players were all on the pitch celebrating. And the play continues. And now there's a chance for Newport as the ball's lofted into the box. It comes in. And now the whistle's blown. And Bobby Madley, adding extra drama to this game, finally blows his whistle because the Shrimps are breaking new ground for the first time in their history. They are in League One, and Newport are condemned to another season of League Two football. And it wasn't the flashiest game. It wasn't the most exquisite period of football that they played for the whole of the 120 minutes. But it was Carlos Mendes Gomez with the all-important penalty that puts the ball in the back of the net. And Morecambe are going to League One next season for the first time in their entire history. Carlos Mendes Gomez, the hero, and Newport again condemned to a late extra time winner that will see them play League Two football this season. It wasn't a classic, but it was an enjoyable game for Morecambe as they do go up. And honestly, a massive, massive thank you to everybody who's been in the streams over the last week. An absolutely incredible weekend of action on what has been quite a dramatic playoff weekend, that's for sure. Honestly, don't forget, we've got more content to come on the channel over the next few days. The final is all done and dusted. Morecambe against Newport County. Congratulations to any of you Morecambe fans that are going to be celebrated for quite a while. We've got the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That's on the 6th of June. We've Rowan F1, of course. Do stay around for that in a few days' time. Should be a belter. And then we are back for the Euros. Turkey taking on Italy. That's the first game of the Euros from 7:55 on the 11th of July. Game number 2 sees Wales against Switzerland. You can join KL for that on the 12th of July from 1:55. And then, of course, we've got the last game, England against Croatia, Group D, 13th of June, should be in belter. We'll have a whole host of other Euro games going on, not just those ones going on as well. But honestly, a massive thank you to all of you that have joined over the last weekend. We had the darts on Friday, we had a playoff weekend of non-stop action, and a massive thank you to you all. As Liam Cooney says, come on the Shrimps. Congratulations to you and your cousin as well. Tubbs saying... see you all at the Euros. Kyle saying cheers, Josh and all watching. Great stream. Have a great day and see you all soon. And then don't forget, if you want to check out when we do go live on the channel, links are in the chat and the description as always. Twitter at @the_top corner and our Instagram is _sportscorner_. Do go and check those out if you do want to go and see when we are live on our YouTube. But as for now, what an incredible, incredible weekend of action. It had a little bit of everything, didn't it? An absolutely dramatic, dramatic week of non-stop playoff action. We're going to take a break for now. I'm going to take a break at the least. The next time I'll be live on the channel will be for the Euros in about 2 weeks' time. So for those of you, of course, wanting to stick around for that, please do. We'll have that in 2 weeks. But as for now, a massive thank you to you all as always. Don't forget to leave a like and a subscription on the channel. We'll be back for the Euros. Should be an absolute belter. But have a fantastic morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And I hope we see you again soon on the channel. Good night.